This program is sponsored in part by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews.
The time of the midnight sun has come when baseball's dog days die as October's nights come alive. Boys of summer salute the past and embrace the future with equal passion right here in fabled Yankee Stadium. It's a special time at a very special place, a place where legends live and where heroes are born with acts of bravery by the bat, where these modern men look to take their place, where Ruth reigned relentlessly and Gehrig's ghost graces these sacred grounds. They say this is a series, but sir, what it really is a war. A war so grand it could only be named the World Series. And through the generations, in this war, the Battle of Game 6 has always stood tall in baseball history. 1947. 1957.
In the Milwaukee fifth, Frank Torrey, the leadoff batter, works the count to 3-2, and then smashes a home run into the right field stand.
Then, in 1975, the greatest game of this generation was played.
Home run!
2 years later, destiny lived cross town.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
1993.
Well hit down the infield line. Way back in. The winners and still world champions, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Then, last year, that Ruth built. 2 teams, 2 fates, as they look to make their place in baseball history. The World Series continues on Fox.
It's do or die time for the Atlanta Braves. We're just about ready for Game 6 here from Yankee Stadium. And with the call tonight is our trio of Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and Bob Brenly. Hello, guys.
Hello, Chip. All right, be honest. How many of you thought we'd be back here after the first 2 games at Yankee Stadium? Come on, be honest. Joe Buck along with Bob Brenly and Tim McCarver. The first 2 games did not go well for the Yankees here. Everybody wrote, it's a mismatch. Well, in Atlanta, it was to a certain degree as the Yankees come away with 3 wins. What's going on with his team? They've won all 8 on the road in the postseason.
Well, maybe Andy Pettit, Joe, said it best. He said, we get too hyped up when we play at Yankee Stadium. Maybe we better learn to tone it down, and perhaps they do. I mean, after all, they've played 14 postseason games. They're 2-4 at home and 8-0 on the road. And think of the 2 games that they've won at home. Second game of the divisional series against the Texas Rangers. Bottom of the 12th inning, first and second, nobody out, and they win the game. It was tied up to that point. They win it on a throwing error by Dean Palmer. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series, trailing 4-3. In the 8th inning, they need the assistance of 12-year-old Jeffrey Mayer to bend over, make the catch. It was ruled a home run, and Bernie Williams ends up winning the game in the 11th inning. As far as Greg Maddux is concerned tonight, Joe Torre telling his players, tone it down. Don't think. Use your instincts. Use your reactions. Don't try and outthink it.
And you can talk about the Yankees all you want, but the Atlanta Braves have to be thrilled that Greg Maddux is ready to pitch in tonight's game. And for the Yankees, Joe Torre has to be thrilled to be able to run a guy like Jimmy Key out there.
Well, actually, this is a rematch of Game 2 when Greg Maddux and John Smoltz, or rather Mark Wohlers combined to shut down the Yankees. Excuse me. There's a key reason for that. If you look at these numbers right here, first pitch strikes. Greg Maddux, 24 first pitch strikes, pitching ahead in the count all night long. Jimmy Key falling behind in the count. Also, Jimmy Key gave up 3 leadoff hits to start innings. 2 of those guys scored. Greg Maddux gave up 1 leadoff hit. The next guy hit into a double play. We talked to Yankee catcher Joe Girardi and said, what are you going to do tonight with Jimmy Key? He said, we're going to do the same thing, only hopefully we'll do it a little better.
So here we are, Game 6 at Yankee Stadium, ready to go. Will there be a Game 7? We're about to find out. Good pitching matchup, the Yankees and the Atlanta Braves. Coming up after this from your local Fox station.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Shalom, I'm Yael Eckstein, president of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. We are so proud to partner with the story behind the story on TBN because we believe in the power of stories. For over 4 decades, we have been at the forefront of providing life-saving aid to millions of Jewish people in Israel and across the globe. Right now, the situation in Israel is deeply disturbing as the ongoing conflict with Hamas and the threat from Hezbollah continues to cause widespread sorrow and loss. Every single day, we hear stories of loved ones who are deeply affected by the war, of families torn apart, and of the resolute spirit of a people determined to survive and thrive despite the circumstances. Your prayers and support as Christians are invaluable to the Jewish families that we aid daily at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Today, we have a special gift for TBN viewers, the booklet, Work of the Heart. 10 biblical lessons on the power of prayer. When you go to ifcj.org/prayerbook, you can get the book, Work of the Heart, for free. This book is not just a gift, it's an invitation to continue to pray and stand with the people of Israel. So right now, please call the number on your screen or go to ifcj.org/prayerbook to receive your free copy of Work of the Heart. By requesting this booklet right now, you are showing your support for Israel and you're reinforcing your dedication to pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
And now, a baseball moment from The Simpsons.
Dad, do you remember where you were when Kirk Gibson hit his famous homer?
Do I ever? I'll bet you $200 he strikes out.
No! Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, we're glad you're with us on a Saturday night. It's Game 6 of the 1996 World Series. No, that's your answer. Look at the Atlanta Braves starting lineup. Marquise Grissom will lead it off in center field. Then it's Mark Lemke batting second at second. Chipper Jones hitting third at third. Fred McGriff is playing first. Then Javi Lopez batting fifth. Andrew Jones in left. Jermaine Dye in right. Terry Pendleton the start. He's the DH. Jeff Blauser is at short, batting ninth. The defense for the Yankees. Tino Martinez back at first base. Now that we are able to use the DH, 95 consecutive games errorless for Tino Martinez, and that defense works behind the left-hander Jimmy Key.
Well, we saw Jimmy Key in Game 2. He was having some control problems. He likes to work that sinker on the outside corner to right-handers. Big overhand curve, a sharp little slider, and a changeup. Just had a lot of problems getting the ball in the strike zone. Fell behind in the count early. The Braves were able to take advantage.
Jimmy Key much the same as Greg Maddux. He must keep the ball down to win. Anytime he elevates from the waist or above, he's hittable, especially in the fat part of the plate.
Jimmy Key was on the mound back in 1992 when Toronto defeated Atlanta 4-2. He was the winning pitcher. He is making his third World Series start, which includes that effort here in Game 2 on Monday night. Marquise Grissom is set to go. He has a hit in each of his first 11 World Series games. The numbers for this World Series outstanding. The .455, and he's ready to lead it off for Bobby Cox's Atlanta Braves. Glad you're with us. Game 6. Jimmy Key gets it going with ball one.
A
lot depends on home plate umpire Jerry Davis and whether he gives the outside pitch to Jimmy Key or not.
First one missed outside, now another. It's 2-0. It's Jerry Davis behind home plate with Jim Evans at first, Terry Tata at second, Tim Welke at third, Ripley down the left field line, and Larry Young down the right field foul line. 2-0 on Grissom. Golf shot into left field for Strawberry. One away.
Well, did you ever think you'd be talking about Darryl Strawberry's defense in a World Series? He's come up with some big plays, a sinking, hooking line drive here. Once again, uses that great reach to make a nice sliding catch.
There have been 3 or 4 instances where the defense from Strawberry, whether it's been in left field or right, has been eye-popping. There's a strike to Mark Lemke.
The most memorable in the 1-0 game on Thursday night when he made the catch off Jeff Blauser late in the game to prevent extra bases.
Leadoff man is gone for Atlanta. Now a breaking ball. Grounded to Jeter. 2 up, 2 down.
The Atlanta Braves, knowing that the New York Yankees had the momentum. I'm reminded of a saying that Earl Weaver used to say, or used to have, that your momentum is only as good as tomorrow's starting pitcher.
2 good ones hooking up here tonight.
Man, I'll say.
Ball 1 to Chipper Jones. You know, the Yankees are now past having to see what a young Andy Pettitte will give them, or what will they get out of Kenny Rogers. Now they've got Key tonight, and if there is a Game 7, they've got David Cone tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Braves, they have Maddox tonight, and if there is a Game 7, they have Glavine tomorrow. Maddox getting ready, evidently, for his start in the bottom of the inning. 2 balls and a strike on Chipper Jones. So all that back and forth, the Braves pitching this, that, and the other. The Yankees are beyond that. They have a 3-2 lead, and they have Key and Cone on the mound if they need both in the final 2 games. 2 balls and a strike on Chipper Jones, 2-2.
I think that's an excellent point, Joe, because what is happening right now in this game, and if there is a game tomorrow, they can match the Braves as far as starters are concerned.
Down the right field line, long run for O'Neill, inning over. And a much better start to Game 6 for Jimmy Key than Game 2. A half inning complete, no score.
We'll be right back after this short break.
They've been called the best comedy team of all time.
Congratulations! Oh!
Larry, Moe, and Curly, the Three Stooges, like you've never seen them before. Digitally restored and remastered to bring you the Three Stooges Classic Collection. All your favorite short films collected onto 3 DVDs. You get all the slapstick, all the madness, and all the side-splitting laughter in one hilarious comedy collection you'll want to watch over and over. The Three Stooges pioneered the situation comedy and became a household sensation, making us laugh, slapping our knees, and shaking our heads.
Come on, kid, please say something. Something?
These 3 friends are the forefathers of comedy, and now you can bring home the very first sitcoms ever created with the Three Stooges Classic Collection, featuring their all-time funniest short films. You get 19 episodes, almost 6 hours of riotous comedy on 3 DVDs for just $29.98 plus $5.95 shipping and handling.
One for all for one. Every man for himself.
Now you can laugh alongside the real kings of comedy and relive how it all started with these zany adventures the whole family will enjoy again and again. physical comedy never goes out of style, and the Three Stooges are as timeless as ever.
My! Ain't she pretty?
Boy, you can say that again.
My! Ain't she pretty?
Shut up.
Don't miss out. Call now to own the Three Stooges Classic Collection DVD set. And if you're a true Three Stooges fan, ask about these other Three Stooges Classic Collections. Call now to order the Three Stooges Classic Collection for just $29.98 plus $5.95 shipping and handling. Or order online at TVAtlas.com. Rush delivery available. Call now.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Bottom of the first inning at Yankees Stadium. No score. The Yankees come to bat. They'll lead it off with Derek Jeter at short. Wade Boggs back in the lineup, batting second. Bernie Williams hitting third. Big Cecil the DH. What a World Series he is putting together. Then Tino Martinez at first. Darryl Strawberry in left. Paul O'Neill in right. Mariano Duncan at second. Joe Girardi catching and batting ninth. The defense for the Atlanta Braves. Why not? I like Greg Maddux. We know he can pitch. He can hit a little. He has 7 Gold Glove awards. And here he is, Greg Maddux, 2-1, making his 4th World Series start, a 15-game winner during the regular season.
And we've seen Greg Maddux enough to know what he's going to do tonight. He's going to work that sinker on both sides of the plate. He's going to throw the changeup, mix in an occasional curveball, an occasional cut fastball that looks like a little slider. Very rarely does he stray from his game plan, working that outside corner to right-handers.
Bob, he certainly didn't do that in Game 2 when of the 24 outs recorded, as you said in the opening, 19 ground ball outs. 19 out of 24.
Yankees come to bat in their half of the first inning with Jeter, Boggs, and Williams. If anybody gets on Cecil Fielder, here is Derek Jeter. He has set a rookie record in 1996 with postseason hits. He has 21 of them. No surprise, first pitch, strike one.
Got a lot of movement on that strike one, and that's the dilemma that a hitter faces when you're up against Greg Maddux. He throws so many first pitch strikes, you might ask yourself, well, why doesn't the hitter go up there and swing at that first pitch strikes? The Yankees did that in Game 2. Maddux pitched 8 innings through only 82 pitches. If you hit it, it's going to be a ground ball.
1 ball, 1 strike, up the middle. Told you he has 7 Gold Glove awards, 1 away.
He had 5 assists in Game 2. Looks like a little slider on the outside part. Greg Maddux always in a position to field the ball. All of the Braves starting pitchers, excellent fielders.
That will bring in Wade Boggs, making his first start since Game 2. And he takes a pitch just high from Maddux. Boggs won Game 4 with that bases loaded walk he drew off the bench for Joe Torre. Charlie Hayes, at least at the start, will sit this one out. 1 ball, 1 strike for Maddux.
The defense on the left side of the infield. Chipper Jones way off the line. And Jeff Blauser at short toward the hole. The middle and third base line are open for Boggs.
Well, we talked about Greg Maddux. He's going to throw any pitch to any location at any speed. Doesn't overpower hitters, but that great movement, particularly on the sinker and the changeup.
Took care of Jeter on a comebacker. Now the 1-2 to Boggs, and he stays alive.
You know, that middle point, that he doesn't have great velocity. What he has is what the hitters refer to as late pop. He may be throwing an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, but at the end, he has late movement, and that's one of the key ingredients of getting guys out.
Has Boggs set up. Wouldn't chase, 2-2. Already you can see the Yankees getting a little better look at Maddux and maybe taking a pitch or 2 more than they did in Game 2. Maddux threw only 82 pitches in that 8-inning effort. That's into right. Easy for Die, 2 out.
There's no easy approach to Greg Maddux. You attack him early in the count, you hit a lot of ground balls, he has a lot of low pitch innings. You wait till late in the count, a lot of times you'll find yourself with 2 strikes, and with his ability to expand the strike zone, you're just as deep as hole. But the more pitches he throws, the better chance he has of making a mistake.
Yeah, Bob, that's what we were talking about in the opening. Joe Torre telling his hitters to hit what you see. Don't try and think with this guy. See the ball, hit the ball.
2 out, nobody on for Bernie Williams. Has only 2 hits in this World Series. And behind on the count. His 2 hits, however, did combine to help the Yankees win that very important Game 3 in Atlanta when he drove in 3 runs and hit his only World Series home run. Nothing in 1, the count from Maddux. 1-1. Bernie Williams trying to extend this first inning for Cecil Fielder. Even though he's only 2 for 20 in the World Series, still hitting .333 in the postseason. There's strike 2. Mentioned the home run hit by Bernie Williams. It came in Game 3. 8th inning off McMichael. And that helped the Yankees along to their 5-2 win behind David Cone over Glavine. Wetland would later get the save. Cecil up next. Those hands go up. Pitch barely missed inside. 2-2.
That's his strikeout pitch to left-handers. He tries to get the arms up. Ball tailing back over the inside corner. It just missed inside. Bob will see him come back in there. If Lopez moves inside, that's the pitch he throws with 2 strikes, the tailer.
Here it is. Missed again, full count. Jeter bounced back to Maddux. Boggs fly to right. To McGriff. First inning over here in Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. The Braves will try to take an early lead tonight. Get this crowd out of the game. Second inning, no score.
We'll be right back after this short break.
I am incredibly grateful for Better Together. It's been part of God's healing process in my own life, and it's helped me to see the way that God is moving through so many different lives. You know, you think about it. Somebody's in the studio in America sharing something, and somebody is in South Africa or the United Kingdom or somewhere around the world listening and learning from each other's stories. I want our program to go where Christian programming has never gone before. Because think about the number of women in our culture who feel alone, who feel anxious, feel nobody understands them. Through the beauty of television and social media, we can come and meet with women and let them know you are not alone. And maybe the God that you think you've rejected, maybe that's not who he really is. Maybe he's somebody who sees you. Maybe he's somebody who understands. Maybe he's somebody who loves you. And maybe through Better Together, we could introduce you to the best friend you've ever had in your life.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Kaiser Sose and Matt Dillon checking out the action here in Game 6. Yeah, it's Kevin Spacey and Matt Dillon. All the stars are out in Game 6.
2 unusual suspects there, huh?
Matt Dillon going blonde on us. Here's McGriff with Lopez and Jones to follow. Second inning, no score. Jimmy Key back to work. And a perfect pitch over the outside corner.
Well, Fred McGriff is one of the hitters in Game 2 that hurt Jimmy Key on pitches up in the zone. They were going to really concentrate on staying down on Fred McGriff.
Down and away, and it's 1-1. McGriff has had a very strong World Series. 6 hits, including 2 home runs. Comes up empty, 1-2.
Fred McGriff, we've talked about how he loves the ball away, especially the left-handed batters. In my opinion, the Yankees have not done a good job coming inside to McGriff enough.
2-2.
You can see from McGriff's approach, he starts out well off the plate, particularly against left-handers, and then dives in towards the plate, looking to shoot a pitch to the opposite field.
Up the middle. Jeter, what a play. 1 out. On the first base side of second base, Jeter comes up with a play, 1 down.
That was a good play because he was well positioned. You can see Boggs almost halfway between second and third. They're giving McGriff everything on the ground to the left side. He does have good power in the air. Good play by Jeter.
Well, we've seen the Braves use some unusual shifts in this series, and now the Yankees are starting to get a little more aggressive defensively in their positioning.
1 out, nobody on for Javi Lopez. Javi only 3 hits in this World Series. Still hitting .282 in the postseason. Had a terrific National League Championship Series. Against St. Louis, was the MVP. Say .542 isn't a bad NLCS.
13 hits, the most in any series in postseason history by a catcher.
2-0 the count from Jimmy Key. Can't get the corner. It's 3-0.
I would imagine Bobby Cox will have Lopez hitting here as you look at Andrew Jones on deck.
Never had a chance to swing. A 1-out walk. And the first base runner of the night belongs to Atlanta.
Well, Jimmy Key kind of feeling around that outside corner, trying to find how far he can work off that corner and still get the strike call. He said he felt in Game 2 that it worked to Maddox's advantage to have a National League umpire behind the plate because they were familiar with the movement on Maddox's pitch. Terry Tata was working the plate in that game. Jerry Davis tonight behind the plate, a National League umpire.
So 1 on, 1 out for Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones broke into World Series play with a bang here in Game 1. 2 home runs, 3 hits. 6 RBIs in this World Series. Borderline pitch. Key got the call. 1-1. Andrew Jones back in Game 1. Second inning. See you later. Off Andy Pettit, a 2-run shot. Then off Bowringer, a 3-run shot. In a 12-1 Atlanta victory in Game 1. Now Andrew Jones out in front of the count, 2-1.
And you're going to get a lot of balls on the ground against Jimmy Key. We'll see if Bobby Cox puts the runner in motion here. Favorable count for Jones.
Change up, 2-2.
Pulls the string on this pitch, gets Andrew Jones, a young hitter, in an aggressive hitting situation, and throws him a changeup.
Full count as Key misses up and in. Jermaine Dye waits on deck. And again, Ryan Klesko is not in the starting lineup for Bobby Cox.
Jimmy Key has a great pickoff move to first base. Bettered only probably by Andy Pettit in the American League.
There's a look at it.
Yeah, if you're the runner on first base, it's just like a hit and run. 3-2, a hit and run's the same thing. You must make sure the pitcher pitches. It's up to the hitter to put the ball in play.
Runner breaks late. They have Lopez caught back in time. And the inning continues. Lopez got such a late break that he was able to get back ahead of the relay throw from Jeter.
Making sure he pitches. Here comes the pitch. There goes Lopez. And he didn't get a third of the way down there. Nifty base running by the Atlanta catcher. One thing, Joe Girardi has to stay back to make sure he gets the strike. He can do that since Lopez doesn't have great speed, and plus it's a 3-2 count.
I said Jeter, it was Duncan who cut across, made the throw. Good effort, but Lopez was just too close. And he's on at first with 2 out for Jermaine Dye, who took a ball. During the regular season, hit .281, 12 home runs, tying Todd Hollandsworth for tops among NL rookies. 2-0. Trying to pitch around a 1-out walk to Javi Lopez. Mel Stottlemyre, the Yankee pitching coach, on your right. Jimmy Key behind on the count, 3-0, 3-1.
Key working exclusively on the outside corner here in the first 2 innings of the ball game. It's very important that at some point he establishes inside so that the Braves hitters don't lean out there and start shooting the ball into right field, which is what they did in game 2.
Into the Yankee dugout, full count.
Jimmy Key relies on his control, and you've seen him nibbling around that outside corner here early in the game. He changes speeds on all his pitches and usually makes up for the lost velocity with great command of his breaking balls.
He's 3-2 on Jermaine Dye. Into right field, O'Neill is there. And after an inning and a half, Game 6, Yankees looking for their 23rd World Championship. No score.
We'll be right back after this short break.
You already know collagen is great for your skin and hair. But did you know it can help your joints too? We're talking about increasing flexibility and reducing stiffness and discomfort fast. For results you can't keep to yourself, try multi-collagen protein.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Back at Yankee Stadium into the bottom of the second inning. Yankees went in order in the first. Greg Maddux back to work, no score. It will be fielder Martinez and Strawberry for New York. Cecil has had a terrific World Series, hitting .421. It's interesting that the Yankees are relying now every day on Cecil Fielder and Darryl Strawberry, 2 players that came to this team in the second half of the season. Fielder grounds to first, and the first 4 Yankees have been retired in order.
You may have seen this before, but we're going to try to bring it back. What Greg Maddux can do, he can make X's on both sides of the plate. He runs the ball away from the left-hander. He tries to hit the outside corner with the breaking ball. He can run the ball in on him, and then we've talked about that 2-strike pitch that he tries to bring back, and players refer to that as making X's on both sides of the plate. Nobody does it better than Maddux.
Here's Tino Martinez. He looks at a strike, and what's amazing about Maddux is he does all that with variations on that fastball.
Like a nice recipe. A little salt here, a little pepper there, a little oregano.
Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Leo Mazzoni told us in Atlanta that basically he does it with finger pressure. He puts a little more pressure with the index finger to make the ball sink away from a lefty. A little more pressure with the middle finger to make it cut back into a lefty.
Strike two on Tino Martinez. Tino has had a rough postseason. No RBIs in this World Series, only 1 out of 8. And trying to get it back together facing Maddox, and behind in the count 1-2. Two and two.
He's missing inside with that tailing fastball. Hey, remember, he tried to do it with Bernie Williams, then he missed to Tino Martinez. If you miss inside, you want to miss inside.
On the inside corner, 2 away, and the first strikeout for Maddox.
He finally hit. 5 pitches in this sequence. A fastball away. This is vintage Maddox. He misses inside. Fastball away. He misses inside. Bingo.
The first strikeout, the second out of the inning. Martinez now 1 out of 9 in the series, and here's Strawberry. The other half of that 1-2 punch the Yankees brought in the second half of the season. Strawberry hitting only .214 in the World Series. His defense has been outstanding. Joe Torre telling us just his mere presence in that lineup makes a difference for the Yankees. Want to know the count? Dipping low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bob Watson, George Steinbrenner, very instrumental in bringing Darryl Strawberry back to the Yankees. Joe Torre has done the job on the field. That is a manager trying to suppress a yawn. Hard hit right at McGriff. They had it played perfectly right down the line. And the second inning is history. No score after 2. Back to Yankee Stadium after this from your local Fox station.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces.
All right, let's go. Take a selfie.
MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, these beautiful shots from above are brought to you by the Alta Vista on-site computing airship, doing business over the internet from wherever you are. Pilot is Captain Terry Dillard from Orlando, Florida. Cameraman is Nathan Crawford. They're out there doing business.
Yeah.
Just like Maddox and Key are doing down below. They're back to work. Jimmy Key ready to work the third inning. Delivers ball 1 to Terry Pendleton. Now 1-1. Pendleton has had a postseason he would like to forget. Only 1 out of 13 in the postseason. His 1 hit coming in the World Series. Mariano Duncan kicks it with a backhand. Can't recover. And we'll see how they rule it. They rule it an error.
I don't think Duncan saw that ball right away. He got a very poor jump. Looked like it hit the heel of the glove. Nope, just closed the glove too quickly. And Pendleton beats it out.
Well, Duncan's not out there for his defense. He's the offensive player at second base. If the Yankees have a lead late in the game, you will see Luis Sojo replace him.
So a leadoff error. And now the number 9 hitter, Jeff Blauser, digs in.
Maybe bunting here. Excuse me, Joe.
I was going to say another Atlanta Brave player who has not hit well. Runner is going. Pendleton never looked back, and he is the first out here in the third.
I think that was a quasi pitch out. The reason Pendleton ran, it was the hit and run. So in lieu of the bunt, Bobby Cox elects to hit and run. It looked like either a quasi pitch out or a pitch out. Joe Girardi waiting until Derek Jeter gets over to cover the bag, and he throws out Pendleton easily.
It appeared to be a broken hit and run. Blauser started to swing at the pitch that was well up and out of the strike zone, and then tried to check his swing. Broken play.
You see Terry Pendleton, if you can read lips, he said pitch out. It looked like a pitch out.
Yeah, it did.
Blauser started to go after it, then decided he wouldn't offer it the pitch, and Pendleton was an easy out. You could see Girardi double pump before he got rid of it, and Pendleton was out by plenty. So an error, but Pendleton erased running the bases. And now a 3-0 count on Blauser.
In a running situation, some pitchers and catchers would prefer, instead of pitching out, just throw the ball up and away. Give the catcher a good shot at the runner in case he's running. And that appeared to be what Girardi was doing, because he got outside late. So he sets up outside. He gets out there late. If it was a pitch out, it was an odd one.
Now Blauser trying to shoot the gap in right center. Bernie Williams can't get to it. Up against the wall, and it's a one-out double for Blauser. So the Braves lose Pendleton on the bases, and on a 3-1 pitch, Blauser shoots the gap in right center.
McKee continues to work that outside corner, has yet to come inside on a right-handed hitter. Blauser gets a pitch down and out over the plate. A lot of room in the gaps here at Yankee Stadium. 385 to right center, 399 to left center. Even Bernie Williams can't catch up with that ball.
So for Blauser, only his third hit in this World Series. He's at second, one out for Grissom. And Marquise out in front, strike one. For Blauser, that is his first extra base hit in this World Series. And it comes as a one-out double as the Braves try to take a third-inning lead. Pendleton on the error. Then out, caught stealing. Grissom looks at a ball. It's 1-1. Who else would the Braves rather have at the plate than Marquise Grissom? 10 out of 23 in this World Series. Getting a good look at pitches that barely missed. 2-1. Grissom has driven in 4 runs in the World Series, 7 in the postseason. To the left side, the broken back grounder, Jeter. 2 out.
That seems to be the equalizer, Bob, that he's going with tonight, the breaking ball instead of the fastball inside.
And that's a very effective pitch, particularly when you're behind in the count a lot. If you can throw this curveball for a strike, which Jimmy Key does on a 2-1 count, no way a hitter can be looking for a breaking ball.
So the runner at second, 2 out, and it's up to Lemke. Batting right-handed, he takes ball 1. Mark grounded out to short his first time up. 6 out of 22 in this World Series. He went 1-1.
Well, the Braves hitters are getting a dose of the medicine that is dealt on other teams. Away, away, away.
Yeah.
Lemke has come up with one big hit after another for the Braves. Here he pops it up into right center for Bernie Williams. An error, a double, no run scoring for Atlanta. Bottom of the third inning, Yankee Stadium, no score.
We'll be right back after this short break.
This Thanksgiving season, join TBN for the trip of a lifetime to Israel, where the Bible comes alive with hosts Matt and Lori Crouch, Pastor Ed and Lisa Young, and special guests.
It's all here. This is Israel.
Don't miss this opportunity to walk where Jesus walked, experience unforgettable biblical sights, and be impacted for a lifetime. Plan now to join us November 21st through the 30th for this life-changing tour of Israel. Call today or visit us online.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
We get into the bottom of the third inning here at Yankee Stadium. No score. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without express written consent. Joe Buck, along with Bob Brenly, Tim McCarver, our producer John Filippelli, director Bill Webb. Happy to have you with us on a Saturday night. There's a strike to Paul O'Neill. O'Neill, Duncan, Girardi, 7, 8, and 9 for the Yankees, looking for their first base runner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul O'Neill with that bad hamstring. There is no doubt that affects him at the plate. He is only 1 out of 9 in this World Series. Strike 2.
He made the great running catch on the ball hit by Luis Polonia to end the game the other night, and then limped all the way back into the Yankee dugout. Yeah, things don't seem to hurt quite as bad this time of year until the game's over.
And Paul O'Neill with that very unusual tapping of the right foot. Very unusual timing device. Check it out right there. Check his right foot out.
Checked his swing, 2-2. And you're talking about a guy who hit .302 during the regular season, but as the year has progressed and his hamstring injury has worsened, he has really struggled at home plate. Only 6 hits in the entire postseason. Down the right field line, curling into the corner. Extra bases for O'Neill. Bad hamstring and all. It's a leadoff double.
You saw that pigeon-toed approach of Paul O'Neill. What that does with your foot, it keeps your shoulder in. It's a reminder to the hitter to keep locked in. O'Neill did, and rips one down the right field line. His second hit of the series and his second double off Maddox.
He started out very pigeon-toed. That toe pointed back towards the catcher, and as the pitcher started his delivery, he slowly opened up until the pitch was delivered.
So the first hit for the Yankees is a double. Paul O'Neill doubled off Greg Maddux in Game 2. He's done it again in Game 6, and now Duncan offered at it as he showed the bunt. That's strike 1.
Hey, what the Braves have to look out for right now is a double bunt. A bunt by Duncan, a bunt by Girardi. Girardi with 5 RBIs this year on safety sacrifice squeezes. So if Duncan can get O'Neill over, look for Girardi to possibly try to get him in with a bunt.
Like Mariano was trying to go to right. He was late in the count 0-2.
Well, obviously trying to hit the ball to the right side of the infield. One thing the Yankees have to be concerned about, because O'Neill's hamstring, he is not able to get the kind of acceleration that he's going to need. A hard hit ball right at Lemke or McGriff. Well, now they have both backed up, but until 2 strikes, they were playing relatively shallow to try to cut the runner down at third.
To the right side, Duncan does his job. 1 out.
Well, what a terrific job by Mariano Duncan to move O'Neill to third on a ground ball the other way on an 0-2 pitch.
Now Girardi. Infield is in for the play at the plate. Into center field. That will put the Yankees on top. It's over the head of Grissom. O'Neill scores. Girardi is chugging for 3. It's an RBI triple, and the Yankees lead by 1.
Girardi gets a pitch up in the strike zone. Marquise Grissom playing a very shallow center field, and he just drives it over his head. One of the few mistakes you'll see Greg Maddux make up high in the strike zone, and Girardi wasn't about to let it pass.
I'm going to say it again just to make you two guys mad. He can run for a catcher.
Well, he didn't bunt either. So if he didn't bunt somewhere in this game with a runner on at third and less than 2 outs, look for the squeeze play.
Duncan set it up with a ground ball to the right side. Girardi gets it done with the RBI triple. Now the runner at third, 1 out for Jeter. So the Yankees have done in 2 1/3 innings what they couldn't do in 8 against Greg Maddux in Game 2, and that is dent home plate.
You see Maddux is missing consistently high right now. Lopez had moved out onto the outside corner and gave a good low target. Maddux threw the ball back over the plate and up high out of the strike zone.
Even the double hit by Paul O'Neill was up.
Base hit, 2-0 New York.
Guys, our booth is shaking.
I think the whole city is shaking. Woo.
A single, a double, a triple in this inning. When's the last time that happened with Greg Maddux on the mound? 2 runs are in, 1 on, 1 out. Boggs, pitch out, nothing doing, ball 1.
Many times a manager will take advantage of chaos, and right now for the Braves, this inning has been chaos. Derek Jeter looked like he wanted to get a jump and steal the base. The Braves correctly guessed and pitched out. Jeter didn't go.
So many things Joe Torre can do here. Hit and run, steal. You've got the lead, you take more chances.
There he goes. No throw.
Maddux gave up 21 stolen bases in 26 attempts against him this year. Jeter with a tremendous jump. Doesn't even draw a throw from Javi Lopez.
Now a base hit can mean another Yankee run. Runner at second, 1 out. And a 2-0 count on Boggs. Into right for Jermaine Dye. Jeter will stay put, 2 out. So a big out picked up by Maddux. Boggs is 0 for 2. And the inning will continue for Bernie Williams.
It looked like Derek Jeter on that slide at second could have hurt the lower part of his back or his shoulder on his right side.
He's been trying to stretch out ever since. Jeter at second, 2 out for Bernie Williams. Only 2 out of 21 in this World Series.
Maybe 2 out of 21 in the World Series, but I'm pretty sure Maddox is going to pitch him very carefully here with a base open. Going to get a look at Jeter going into second base here. It's a great break off first, great acceleration, takes a quick peek at home.
Looked like when he put his right arm down, when he slid, he could have jammed his shoulder, pulled the muscle the right side of his back.
He's at second, 2 out. Bernie Williams at the plate. Into right center, base hit. Here comes Jeter. The throw is no good. 3-0 New York.
Usually, when an outfielder makes a throw this bad and this high, the ring finger of his right hand becomes involved. Marquise Grissom with an excellent arm. You don't see him uncork a throw like that unless he just did not have a good grip on it.
Puts himself in good position, charging the ball, momentum going straight to home plate, and then just airmails it to Greg Maddux backing up the play.
Let's face it, Marquise Grissom has had a rough postseason in the field. He's committed 3 errors. One was huge for Atlanta, helping the Yankees get back into the ball game. In fact, win that game 1-0 on the unearned run in Game 5. Grissom has been outstanding at the plate, but he's had a tough time in center. In Game 5, Marquise Grissom in right center. And to his defense, Jermaine Dye, there's no doubt, got in his way and was definitely in his vision as he dropped that ball in right center. The error went to Grissom, and the unearned run scored. It was the only run of the night on Thursday night. Driven in by the man at the plate, Cecil Fielder. Runner at second, Williams, 2 out. Strike 1.
The ball to Bernie Williams was up. Greg Maddux is uncharacteristically up in the zone this inning.
Fortunately for him on that pitch, it was so high that Cecil couldn't catch up to it, but that's not a trend that Bobby Cox enjoys seeing very much.
Nothing in 2 on Fielder. It's been a 3-run, 4-hit inning for the Yankees. A big part of it, Joe Girardi with an RBI triple and a run scored. Bernie Williams, the 2-out RBI hit. He took second on the throw home. There was no error charged on the throw. One and 2 on Fielder. Jimmy Key has 3 runs to work with here in the 3rd.
And he may have only 3 more innings to work with because Joe Torre has a very healthy Mariano Rivera and a rested Rivera. He may be going back to that 6-2-1 formula.
Runner at second, 2 out. It stays fair. Lopez, very good play to end the inning. In the first 2 games of this 1996 World Series, the Braves were able to take the crowd out of it here at Yankee Stadium. That is not the case tonight.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The Better Together community has helped me in my faith walk. You're the one that encourages me to walk by faith. And that has been one of the most beautiful things in my life. It's been a joining of my friends that have helped echo this beautiful voice of hope and grace and encouragement around the world. So my sweet mother-in-law, Jane Crouch, looked at me one day and she said, Lori Michelle, she said, it's time for you to do something for the women. So I really took that to heart. But my husband also took it to heart. He said, I think that would really bless women all over the world. And God started gathering the people. And so Better Together just took shape, and we started shooting in April of 2019. Little did we know that it was just before this global pandemic that Better Together voices were on the air. And I just believe that the next 1,000 episodes, they will keep up with the times of what our world needs, bringing his kingdom down here to earth. And I want you to be able to get what God has for you, because we get to grow together. We get to worship together. We get to be a part of each other's lives. And I pray that it has ministered to you in a beautiful way.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Evidently something happening to Mariano Duncan during that bottom of the third inning. He heads out. And we're going to need a new second baseman.
Maybe Billy Crystal play second base for the Yankees. He'd love that.
Guarantee you.
Not so sure Joe Torre would like it very much, but Billy would dig it.
So we're going to get an early look at Luis Sojo, and we will pass along exactly what happened to Mariano Duncan, who had a big at-bat in that 3-run third inning. Sojo takes over. He's normally slated for later in the game as a defensive replacement you talked about earlier. But now here's Sojo on in the fourth inning. Evidently, when the Yankees went back out, while Key was warming up and the infielders were taking their ground balls and throws, he was hit in the mouth by a ball. That's the early word we get, and that's why Duncan has to leave here in Game 6. So mark Luis Sojo down on your scorecard, batting 8th, playing second base. And Mariano Duncan finished for the rest of the night.
It looked like Chipper Jones might have asked Joe Girardi what happened. They were trying to figure out themselves what happened with Mariano Duncan.
Chipper Jones will lead it off, then McGriff and Lopez. Big inning for Atlanta as they try to get back into this game. 3-0 Yankees in ball one from Jimmy Key.
It's a huge inning for Jimmy Key and the Yankees. If you can put up a 0 after your team has scored some runs, it goes a long way towards keeping your team mentally in the ball game.
Braves have the right guys coming up to do something about that 3-0 score. There's ball 2, and it's 2-0 on Jones. Two and one.
Once again, Jimmy Key staying away. A very defensive swing on a 2-0 count from a very good hitter.
Three and one. Chipper Jones trying to get on base somehow, some way to get it started for Atlanta here in the fourth. Into left center field, not well hit. Strawberry there, one away. It's Andrew Shue from Melrose Place, and the professional soccer team out in LA. With wife Jennifer checking out the action here in Game 6. Here is Fred McGriff with 1 out, nobody on. McGriff grounded out. With the shortstop Jeter, his first time up. And again, Key falls behind, 2-0.
We talked in the opening about how important it was for Jimmy Key to get ahead of the hitters. 10 first pitch balls, 13 first pitch strikes so far.
To first and just foul.
Let me correct myself. 10 first pitch balls, 3 first pitch strikes, and he's gotten away with it. You wouldn't want to continue that trend throughout the ball game.
Just hooks foul.
And the count 2-1. One out, nobody on. McGriff pops it up. It'll get back and out of play. And it's a 2-2 count. One of the reasons Key has been able to get away with it, falling behind, but then able to get that breaking ball over. That's how he got Grissom with a runner at second last inning. Now the 2-2 to McGriff. Full count. Javier Lopez waits on deck. A one-out walk, and the second walk issued tonight by Jimmy Key. He walked Lopez back in the second. He walks McGriff with one out here in the fourth. And it's 1 on, 1 out for Javi Lopez. Lopez only 3 hits in this World Series. Takes a strike. Only 1 RBI. One and one.
Javi Lopez, a dead low ball hitter. You see the bright red across the bottom. That's where he really likes the ball. Hot, hot. He will hit hanging breaking balls in that blue zone occasionally, but he likes the ball down around the knees.
1 on, 1 out, 1 and 1 from Key. 2 and 1.
Most low ball hitters are good breaking ball hitters because most breaking balls, to be effective, have to be down in the zone.
3-0 Yankees here in the fourth inning. To the right side, a base hit, a walk and a hit. And the Braves have a rally cooking here in the fourth inning.
Good hitting by Lopez. Fastball away right on the corner. Rifle to right field. Bobby Cox telling us about Andrew Jones and talking about the good power that he has the other way. I think if he hits Jimmy Key, he's going to have to hit it hard the other way, because I don't think Key's going to come inside on it.
2 on, 1 out. Out in front. Strike one. He has been able to fool Andrew Jones with a couple of changeups, and he does it for strike one. The 2 men aboard here in the fourth inning.
Struck him out in the second inning with a very good changeup down low and away. Really planting the seed in Andrew Jones' mind about that changeup.
One ball, 1 strike. Jimmy Smits is here.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
They're all out. Waiting to see if the Yankees can wrap it up in 6 games. Braves have it working here in the fourth inning. It's 2 and 1 on Andrew Jones. And we have yet to see a pitch come inside to Andrew during this at bat.
He may get the breaking ball here if he's consistent with the other right-handed hitters. Nope.
To the right side, headed for foul territory, and out of play. 2 and 2.
You know, in Jimmy Key's defense, he is missing the strike zone, but not by very much. Throughout this World Series, we've seen a lot of those pitches just off the corner called strikes. Jerry Davis not going way out there off the corner.
2-2 on the rookie, the 19-year-old Andrew Jones. A walk to McGriff, a hit by Lopez. Into right field. O'Neill can't get there in time, and that will load the bases. Andrew Jones gets his first hit of the night, and the bases are loaded for Atlanta here in the 4th inning.
It was the breaking ball. He finally got it, and he hits it hard in front of Paul O'Neill. O'Neill does keep it in front of him, and McGriff had to hold at second base, Lopez at first, so naturally nobody scores.
Talked about the Braves being a very good team at making adjustments on the fly, and you can see this inning, Lopez, Andrew Jones both going to the opposite field.
Here is Jermaine Dye from one rookie to the next. Dye lined to right his first time up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Into right field, down the line, trouble if it's fair. It is just out of play for strike 1. Got to give Bobby Cox credit for being patient. He stayed with these rookies throughout, especially against left-handed pitching. They're back-to-back in his lineup tonight. Andrew Jones got a hit to load the bases. Now the 0-1 to Jermaine Dye. 1-1.
Now finally, Jimmy Key does come inside. Really needs to do that to establish in there, not necessarily for a strike, just like he does right here to keep Jermaine Dye and the rest of the Braves hitters from reaching out and poking that ball into right field.
Can't catch the corner, 2-1. Our Fox box, top left-hand corner of your screen, the bases loaded with Braves, McGriff, Lopez, and Jones. 1 out in the inning, and Jermaine Dye ahead in the count, 2-1. 3-1. And Jimmy Key is staying stubborn.
Borrowing from Tommy Clavin's theory of staying stubborn. David Weathers up and throwing. Ideal hitting situation here.
3-1 pitch. That will force home a run. A bases loaded walk. 2 walks, 2 hits in the inning. It's a 2-run Yankee lead. It's 3-1 here in the 4th.
Well, it appears Jimmy Key is really staying away right through the count against the Braves hitter, not willing to challenge anybody. Fastball away that Jermaine Dye fouls off. The 1 pitch during the sequence inside was called a ball. Away. Ball 4 appeared to be a slider in the dirt. Didn't want to give in on the 3-1 count with the bases loaded.
So that makes it a 2-run game, and the base is still loaded, 1 out for the number 8 hitter, Terry Pendleton.
And again, it's an ideal hitting situation because a guy who is missing consistently outside, if he doesn't continue to stay stubborn like he has done, what he's going to do, he's going to make the adjustment over the middle of the plate.
Throughout his career, Pendleton has been outstanding with the bases loaded. He pops it foul. Strike 1. Lopez, the runner at third. He has a hit in the inning, as does Andrew Jones. Jermaine Dye, the bases loaded RBI walk. One and one from Jimmy Key. The bases loaded, Terry Pendleton in his career, a .335 hitter with 4 grand slams.
Jimmy Key has not given up a grand slam in his career.
And again, outside, 2-1.
And he probably won't unless he gets the ball in the strike zone. Mel
Stottlemyre Watching Key on 2-1, miss again outside. It's 3-1. David Weathers should be ready in the Yankee bullpen. Double play ball. Jeter steps and throws, inning over. A golden chance for Atlanta. They get only one.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers are seeing the benefits of multi-collagen protein. With 10 types of collagen, with clinically studied benefits, and due to the feedback we have received, Dr. Axe and I have developed an exclusive product for the TBN family and are launching it today for the very first time. Introducing Multi-Collagen Protein Brain Boost. The power of multi-collagen protein combined with brain-boosting benefits from ashwagandha, lion's mane, and a fermented blend of ginkgo biloba and bacopa. Naturally delicious with a hint of vanilla, Multi-Collagen Protein Brain Boost will take the health of your body and mind to the next level. Today, our best offer, and available for the first time, you can take advantage of our exclusive offer. Get 1 Multi-Collagen Brain Boost powder and 1 Multi-Collagen Brain Boost capsules for just $99. Multi-Collagen Protein Brain Boost will take the health of your body and mind, plus free shipping, and it's backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee. Best of all, when you order, a substantial portion of each purchase will support TBN's worldwide ministries. Again, take advantage of our exclusive bundle, 1 bottle of Multi-Collagen Protein Brain Boost powder and 1 bottle of Multi-Collagen Brain Boost capsules combined with brain-boosting benefits, plus shipping and handling. And as always, ask about our auto delivery program to save even more on today's order and all future orders. Call or text BRAIN to the number on your screen or visit our website. This offer is only available here at TBN.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
The old blue light special at the Empire State Building. Blue lights commemorating the season for the New York Yankees. We get into the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Yankees up 3 games to 2. Lead 3-1 as Tino Martinez looks at a ball from Maddox. One out of 9 so far for Martinez as he pops it foul.
One guy we have not talked about in this series is Don Mattingly, who retired from the Yankees last year, an icon in this city, and probably nobody on either team to begin the 1996 season was under more pressure than Tino Martinez. Hard to replace a guy like Mattingly.
He responded so well. Hit 25 home runs, drove in 117 runs, and this postseason has got to be the most frustrating 2 weeks of his life.
Well, the big thing about the postseason, though, regardless of what's happened up to this point, you have a big Game 6 and/or a big Game 7. It's all forgotten.
So far, he's struck out and he's set up here to ball and 2 strikes. Leading it off in the 4th. Into center field. Grissom drifting. 1 away. Right now, let's go down to Steve Lyons for an update on Mariano Duncan.
All right, Joe, I'm standing outside the Yankee clubhouse. Mariano Duncan was taken out of the game at the top of the 4th inning. He strained his shoulder while warming up for that inning. Luis Sojo takes over for him at second base. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, Steve. So not hit in the mouth as was originally reported to us, but instead the strained throwing shoulder. Here is Darryl Strawberry. Grounded out to first, his first time up, and he takes a ball from Maddox.
There's that little cut fastball, almost like a little baby slider. Usually after he throws that, he comes back with the sinker inside off the plate.
One and one.
Alex this time to come back with a good straight changeup, although it's not straight by any stretch of the imagination. You see the downward movement on the ball.
Now the 1-1 to Strawberry. Strike two.
You could drive a fleet of trucks from Chipper Jones, the third baseman who's playing the shortstop position, to the third baseline.
Maddox has Strawberry 1-2, and he strikes him out over the inside corner, 2 out.
Maddox first pitch, little cut fastball inside just off the corner, comes back with the changeup to get the swinging strike. Sinking fastball, sinking fastball.
2 strikeouts tonight for Maddox, 2 out, nobody on in the 4th inning. And here is Paul O'Neill. O'Neill has only 2 hits in the World Series. He has 2 doubles against Maddox. Lemke has plenty of time, and the Yankees go in order in the 4th. After the first 4 in Game 6, Yankees trying to wrap it up. They lead by 2.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Timeout, 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 timeout!
Listen up, get tight.
This is the most important timeout I've ever called.
Things are getting out of control out there.
And we need to regroup.
Hate.
Hate.
Hate. Hate is winning out there.
Not on these fields.
In our communities.
On our streets.
In our schools.
And we need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
to change the momentum.
And call a timeout
on hate. Together.
Together.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Atlanta trails by 2 after the first 4 innings here in Game 6. It will be the number 9 hitter Blauser, then back to the top of the lineup. Grissom and Lemke against Jimmy Key. Ball 1 from Key to Blauser, who doubled his first time up. Big scoring chance for the Braves in the 4th inning. They had scored 1, had the bases loaded, 1 out, and a 3-1 count on Pendleton. Grounded into the easy inning-ending 6-3 double play.
And what could have been overlooked is in the 3rd inning, Pendleton on an error, and then Joe Girardi appeared to have pitched out. It was an odd pitch out, but he was nailed at second base before the Blauser double.
2-0 on Blauser here in the 5th inning. There's a strike, 2-1. Braves never did panic when they were down 3-1 to the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS. They got to be feeling it a little bit now. 3-1 the count on Blauser. They trail 3-1 5th inning. Full count. Looked like Blauser was taking all the way on 3-1.
Jimmy Key consistently putting himself in good hitters' counts. Not all these Braves hitters are going to be taking 3-1 fastballs down the middle.
Weathers getting ready again. 3-2 to Blauser. Off the end of the bat, 1 away. So Key battles back to get Blauser, and now back to the top of the lineup. Sunday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Grissom is on with the base hit. Here with 1 out in the 5th inning. We'll be able to see that game, the Dolphins and the Cowboys here in New York. The only question that remains the baseball side now is, will that lead us into Game 7? Will there be a Game 7? Braves trying to win here tonight to force the deciding game here tomorrow night. A 1-out hit by Grissom. That gets away. Grissom headed for second. Got it.
was a great play by Joe Girardi, but I think Marquise Grissom was safe at second base. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was close. Looked like a high tag, and it looked like his foot was on the bag. Trying to be restrained there by first base umpire Jim Evans. Pat Corrales, the first base coach. We'll have to see it again, but the way I saw it, the tag was high, the foot was in there, didn't look like he was out.
Great athletic play by Joe Girardi as his right foot slides out from under him as he makes the throw, still gets it on target, obviously safe at second base.
It's a bad call right there. Straight in slide. Unless he tagged him in his left arm going down.
The swipe tag by Jeter after Grissom's foot had hit the bag.
Amazing that Girardi could make it even close.
Yeah, it was.
Off his back foot.
Not even close. Not even close. He's safe easy.
The only question was maybe if Jeter had tagged Grissom on his left arm as he put it up to start his slide, but you could see, and now Cox has been ejected.
And he's going to get into it with a third base umpire, Tim Welke, who he has had problems with this entire series.
Welke, you may recall, was the right field umpire that obstructed Jermaine Dye's attempt to catch a foul ball that led to a big inning. In the fourth game.
That followed the game the prior night when Andrew Jones was called out on a 3-2 pitch that looked well outside, and Tim Welke rung up Andrew Jones, which started the little history we have going on here.
The last manager that I can remember that was run from a World Series game was Whitey Herzog back in 1985. In Game 7. As you can say, he's in there right there. It really wasn't close to play at second base. He was safe.
Well, the umpire at second base, Terry Tate, is a National League umpire, so I'm sure Bobby's had his run-ins with him during the course of the season or the last several seasons.
But it was Welke who ejected him. As Cox was walking by, who knows what was said. But it was Welke who bounced him. Now Lemke flies to center. So after the long layoff, Key throws one pitch, and the top of the fifth inning is history. Yankees bat, they lead by 2.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey guys, it's Victoria. Nickelodeon's The Big Help is about taking better care of our planet and ourselves, and what happens when we do it all together. So here's one big idea. Get your parents' help and change one standard light bulb to one of these. Because if we can get 1 million of us to switch from a standard bulb to a CFL bulb, we'd save enough energy to power 1,200 homes for a year, or one school for 85 years. So make the switch and have your action counted at thebighelp.com. Because together, we can move the world.
And now, a baseball moment from The Simpsons.
When I grow up, I want to be a baseball player. Get paid $7 million a year to spit and scratch myself.
God bless a little boy's dream.
We get into the bottom of the fifth inning. Here at Yankee Stadium, tonight's aerial shots being provided by the Alta Vista on-site computing airship, demonstrating that business can be done over the internet from anywhere, even from 1,000 feet over Yankee Stadium. That's what's going on up above. What's going on down below. The Yankees out in front by 2, and Bobby Cox has been ejected. There was no doubt Cox had his reasons for his argument. Replays clearly showing that Grissom was safe. Got into it with a second base umpire, Terry Tate, and as he walked off, may have said something, may not have said something to Tim Welke, who bounced Cox out of this game. Jimmy Williams, a third base coach. Sure, it will be a consortium between Jimmy Williams, Jim Beecham, and Leo Mazzoni over on that Braves dugout bench.
Maybe Jim Beecham will make the pitching changes. Jimmy Williams has had prior managing experience. So has Pat Corrales.
Here's Soho with his fly ball to right for Jermaine Dye. Fitting that Dye would catch that fly ball off the bat of Soho. This is the second incident between Bobby Cox and Tim Welke, the umpire, who was down the right field line in the way of Jermaine Dye. That was with Derek Jeter at the plate, who would later single, which led to a 3-run 6th inning in that crazy Game 4 in which the Yankees came back to win it 8-6 in 10 innings. The previous night it was a 3-2 pitch with Welke behind the plate, where Andrew Jones was called out on a breaking ball from John Wetland. 1 out, nobody on, and Joe Girardi with a count of 1-1.
Well, the good news for Bobby Cox, after a shaky third inning when Maddox was getting everything up in the strike zone and the Yankee hitters were wailing away on him, he now seems to have found the zone again.
Off the end of the bat into shallow left, and that's going to fall in for a hit. Girardi 2 for 2. Came in 0 for 7 in the World Series. Tim, you're right about the last manager being ejected from a series game. Whitey Herzog in Game 7, the 1985 World Series with Kansas City. Bobby Cox is now the 6th manager to be ejected from a series game. It's 1 on, 1 out for Derek Jeter, who combined with Girardi in that 3-run 3rd inning for the Yankees. Jeter an RBI single, a stolen base, and a run scored.
And again, a running situation right here.
Girardi stays put as Jeter looks at ball 1.
What managers try to do, they try to run the count favorable to the hitter to disallow the pitch out. Very few managers or catchers will pitch out on a 1-0 count or a 2-1 count. Girardi a fast runner, Jeter a contact hitter.
And a check on Girardi. Coming up in the 9th inning, Tim, Bob and I will award today's Chevrolet Player of the Game. Joe Girardi trying to throw his name in the hat. 13 stolen bases, the Yankee record for catchers. 1 on, 1 out. Double play ball if someone can get to second. What a play by Lemke. What a play by Mark Lemke. 5-4-3 to end the 5th inning, and we go to the 6th at Yankee Stadium. Yankees out in front by 2.
We'll be right back after this short break.
This year, the fellowship helped over 2.1 million people around the world. We provided food, water, and basic needs to the Jewish people who needed our help. The fellowship served 3 million meals through fellowship-supported soup kitchens worldwide. We installed over 170 mobile bomb shelters near bus stops in northern Israel so children can go to school and return while being protected. We provided over 35 ambulances and medical vehicles to first responders. And we prepared over 600 emergency shelter kits for citizens who are living in public bomb shelters during the war. The fellowship helped over 6,000 people make Aliyah to Israel. We did this and so much more because you were there to help. And so for that, I want to say, Toda Rabbah. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
This is why this was a spectacular play by Mark Lemke, because of the distance he had to cover on a ball that was hit hard to Chipper Jones with 2 guys who could run. One that hit him and one that was on first. What a play.
The 5-4-3 double play ends the fifth, and now Jimmy Key back to work in the sixth inning with the Yankees out in front 3-1. Chipper Jones leads it off, then McGriff, then Lopez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great job by Chipper Jones to start that double play by floating the ball over towards second base and allowing Lemke to run under it, much like a quarterback would to a wide receiver.
That's slicing down the right field line. It is trouble. Into the corner. It's a fair ball, and it hops into the seats for a leadoff ground rule double. Exactly what the Atlanta Braves needed to start the sixth inning.
And speaking of floating, that's what Chipper Jones to that sinker does to that sinker, going low and away. He hits it down the right field line, much the same as his double against Jimmy Key in Game 2.
Well, we've already seen David Weathers getting ready for the Yankees out of their bullpen. And whether it's Weathers or whether you get into Mariano Rivera land, here comes Mel Stottlemyre out to talk to Jimmy Key.
If Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre stick to their regimen, they would use Dave Weathers to hopefully get out of the sixth inning and then bring Rivera in to start the seventh.
Weathers is the one that for the third time in the last 2 innings is getting ready out in the Yankee bullpen.
Rivera is much more effective to start an inning. If he comes into the ballgame with runners on base, he's very susceptible to the stolen base. So for that reason alone, I'm sure David Weathers is cranking it up in a hurry.
So a leadoff double from Chipper Jones. Here's McGriff, who is grounded out, walked, and scored. Braves trail by 2 here in the top of the sixth inning. And a strike catches the outside corner to McGriff. Just low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jimmy Key trying to get around a leadoff double. Up the middle. Soho to his right. Jones to third with 1 out. And that's going to be the last hitter faced tonight by Jimmy Key. Jimmy Key gets into the sixth inning, and he'll give way to the Yankee bullpen. Our Aflac trivia question, not supplied by the folks at Aflac. Instead, the Honorable George E. Pataki, Governor of the state of New York, asks which New York Yankee holds the longest hitting streak in the World Series. It's our Aflac trivia question. Think about that as Jimmy Key thinks about his 5 1/3 innings here tonight as he gives way to the Yankee bullpen. And first, it's David Weathers. Runner at third, 1 out. Chipper Jones aboard for Javi Lopez. And a strike over the inside corner.
Weathers facing Javier Lopez in Game 4 in the 5th inning with 2 on. He struck him out primarily on low fastballs.
A deadline pickup by the Yankees, and he's had a very good postseason. And he's quickly 0-2 on Lopez.
Weathers is a sinker slider guy. Everything he throws is hard. He's not really going to change speeds very much. Very aggressive, comes right at the hitters.
These Atlanta hitters all night, at least the right-handers, have been looking away, and already Weathers has come in on Javi Lopez, and he's 0-2. Now away, and he struck him out.
He really set Javier Lopez up well with the fastball inside. Fastball inside, fouled away, off the plate away. Fine job by David Weathers.
With 3 pitches, he does away with Javier Lopez. Now a runner at third, 2 out. And it takes a hit for Atlanta to climb closer. It's Andrew Jones. Inside again for ball 1.
Well, through the first 5 1/3 against Jimmy Key, the Braves hitters only had to worry about the outside corner and whether a pitch was a strike or a ball. Weathers enters the game and immediately starts working both sides of the plate. Completely different look.
One and one. Two balls and a strike on Andrew Jones, who is singled and struck out tonight. Graham Lloyd, the left-hander. Jeff Nelson, the right-hander, getting ready for the Yankees in their pen. Three and one.
Tough slider down and away from Andrew Jones after throwing a fastball up and in. Already wanted that call, didn't get it.
Tying run at the plate, runner at third, 2 out. 3-1 from Weathers. That will put the tying run aboard. A strikeout and a walk from Weathers. It's first and third, 2 out. And Jermaine Dye will be called back to the Atlanta dugout.
And Joe Torre's already thought of that. Graham Lloyd, the left-hander, warming up specifically for one hitter, and that's Ryan Klesko. Joe Torre just waiting until Klesko is announced, and one would think he would bring in Lloyd. It's the only reason he's warming up.
Here comes Torre. As Klesko is announced as the pinch hitter. Klesko will bat for Jermaine Dye. Joe Torre will make his second pitching change of the 6th inning. Weathers got 1 out. He walks Andrew Jones. And now we see Graham Lloyd.
Joe Torre on his way out to take out David Weathers, checking with home plate umpire right there. Jerry Davis making sure Klesko was announced before he made the move.
His move, as Ryan Klesko was announced, is to bring in Graham Lloyd. An ERA of 0 in 5 innings pitched. First and third, 2 out. Tying runs on, and ball 1 outside to Klesko. Klesko's last start was in Game 3 against David Cone. He's on pinch hitting for Jermaine Dye with runners at the corners, 2 out. Getting a good look at these first 2 pitches, 2-0.
Let's do a typical left-handed power hitter, down and in and up and out over the plate, and he can pull that pitch away from him.
Gets under it, pops it up. Klesko in this series is 0 for 3 against Graham Lloyd.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
It starts with kindness, reaching out a helping hand. Even the smallest gestures mean the world to a lot of people.
Together.
Together. Together.
Together.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
There's your score into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium, Game 6. And guys, the Atlanta Braves have left 6 runners on base.
Ryan Klesko pinch hitting for Jermaine Dye, and Graham Lloyd coming in. He has not allowed a base runner in this series. What a remarkable job from the guy from down under.
Maddox back to work in the bottom of the 6th inning, dealing with Boggs. And a count 0-2. Klesko stays in the game. He's in playing left field, and that moves Andrew Jones from left to right. So he had to deal with the fans in the left field bleachers, and now he meets some new friends out in right. Boggs has flied to right twice. Reaching, hit the mound. That helped Lemke. 1 out. About the answer for our Aflac trivia question. Which New York Yankee holds the longest hitting streak in the World Series? Hank Bauer, 17 consecutive games. That's our Aflac trivia answer. And our thanks to Governor George Pataki. He submitted that question.
So I guess he knew the answer too.
I would hope so, yeah.
1 out, nobody on. Bernie Williams looks at a ball low.
That's not fair asking trivia questions if you don't know the answer.
Right.
Williams has that RBI single his last time up. Jermaine Dye is finished for the rest of the night. Maddox has had that one bad inning. 1-1 on Williams. Maddox back in that 3-run 3rd inning allowed a leadoff double to Paul O'Neill. Duncan moved the runner over. There's Rivera getting ready. An RBI triple by Joe Girardi. He scored on a hit by Jeter, who stole second. Scored on a hit by Williams. 1 out, nobody on. Williams, that's down the left field line. Trouble. Klesko on the run is there for the 2nd out of the inning.
Klesko, a much improved defensive outfielder. This ball slicing away from him down in that short porch in left field. Stays on that ball very nicely.
While we show the replays, a fan has gotten loose on the field. Quickly disposed of. And with 2 out, nobody on here in the 6th inning, the batter will be Cecil Fielder. All the security guards go back to their posts. Security guards have been going through 2-a-days to get ready for tonight's game. And you just hope that that one fan doesn't trigger the domino effect, literally. 2 out, nobody on here in the 6th inning. Cecil Fielder waits the night for Maddox as opposed to game 2. The only column that matters to Maddox is that run category, and he's allowed 3 as he's worked here tonight, none through 8 innings in game 2. Fielder is grounded out twice. One and one.
Some fans spoil it for a few, but there's a real diehard Yankee fan. Guy with the sign behind home plate, sporting Tommy John's career earned run average.
Really?
Yeah. There it is, right there. Let's telestrate that right there, folks. Tommy John's ERA for his career. Not bad. That's a real Yankee fan there.
Oh, there's no doubt. Scary that you would know that.
3.14.
Base is empty. 2 out. Fielders grounded out twice. Hanging breaking ball into left, right to Klesko. He fields it on a hop. Here's a rare hanger from Greg Maddux, and fielder put the bat on the ball. Klesko didn't get a real good read on it, and it fell in front of him.
When power hitters take a big cut on pitches up in the zone, your natural instinct as an outfielder is to break back. Ball wasn't hit off the head of the bat. Klesko was fooled and drops in for a single.
Now Tino Martinez. 1 for 10 in this series. Fielder's not going anywhere on that ball. Ball 1. Good time for the duck dance, I guess. 1 on, 2 out. A strike on a changeup, 1-1.
Well, Greg Maddux had only one of those throw it and duck innings, and that was in the third when New York scored all 3 runs. He was up in the zone that inning, but for the most part, you exclude that third inning, he's kept the ball down fairly well.
Girardi, a flare hit in the 5th inning, a hanger that stayed in the ballpark off the bat of Cecil Fielder. They hit to left with 2 out, and now Maddux behind to the count 2-1 on Tino Martinez. Joe Girardi has been a big part of the Yankees attack here tonight. Not only at the plate with an RBI triple and a run scored and a single, but when he cut down Grissom on that ball that got away. Off the end of the bat to Lemke, inning over. We have played 6 here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees still out in front by 2. Back to Yankee Stadium after this from your local Fox station.
If you are looking for a community that prays together and takes you deeper into God's Word, Better Together was created just for you. We are bringing the love and the hope and the grace of the gospel to more women around the world.
I'm about to bring out my praise hanky because you got to finish that story.
Testify! Come on! God can birth something on the inside of you that you just never dreamed possible.
And we will literally see more souls saved when we are who we are and do what God has called us to do.
I know Better Together is so much bigger than a slogan.
It's about all of us. We get to be a part of a greater story.
We help each other remember His unconditional love, His mercy that is new every morning, and His amazing grace.
We have to know that our God will work all things together for our good.
And I think it all comes down to the cross. If that's what Jesus did, then we can believe for the impossible.
Better Together!
Back at Yankee Stadium, which is just drenched in baseball tradition. Monument Park, the monument for Babe Ruth. Yankee Stadium opening on April 18th, 1923. Who hits the first home run? Who else? Babe Ruth. Yankees were in the Polo Grounds before coming to Yankee Stadium. They played here since 1923. Save the 2 years in 74 and 75 when Yankee Stadium was remodeled and renovated. But quite a home field advantage for these Yankees, who have not been taking advantage of the home field up until now. They lead 3-1 into the 7th inning. New third baseman Charlie Hayes, new pitcher Mariano Rivera. 7th inning, 3-1 New York. And a ball to Terry Pendleton leading off. Terry by far the key at bat for the Braves so far after Atlanta broke through with a bases loaded RBI walk to Jermaine Dye in the 4th inning. He had a count of 3-1 with the bases loaded and grounded into the inning-ending rally-killing double play. 2-0 from Rivera.
And Terry up there taking a strike, it appears. That's because the Braves are trailing by 2 runs, not 1. Up there hacking if they're trailing by 1, but he gets 4 straight balls from Rivera.
How about that? Mariano Rivera, a walk on 4 straight to start the 7th inning, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate. So Rivera comes on after Graham Lloyd went a third of an inning, getting Klesko to pop up with 2 on, 2 out to end the top of the 6th. Weathers a third of an inning. Struck out 1, walked 1. After Key went 5 1/3. Here's Jeff Blauser. He's doubled, he's lined out. And he's late. Strike 1.
Well, Rivera can get erratic around the strike zone, particularly up in the strike zone. But he gets a lot of swinging strikes on pitches that are up out of the strike zone because of that tremendous velocity.
10 postseason appearances, that ERA around a half, 4th lowest all time, and he's 0-2 on Blauser. This has been the formula for the Yankees all year long. You get a start from whoever, Pettit, Key, Cone, it doesn't matter. You have a lead. You hand it over to Rivera for the 7th and 8th. You hand it over to Wetland for the 9th. Oh, 2 to Blauser. That should stay in play. It will. Behind second for Soho. 1 out. So Blauser 1 out of 3, and back to the top of the lineup. It'll be Marquise Grissom.
I think one of the reasons that Mariano Rivera is so successful is he throws hard, sure, but there are a lot of pitchers in the major leagues that throw as hard as Rivera, but none have the nice, easy motion before the exploding fastball.
Strike 1 on Grissom. Grissom a single his last time up, then with Lemke at the plate, a ball got away. Girardi off his back foot fired a strike down to second. Grissom was called out. And he was clearly safe, which eventually led to the ejection of Bobby Cox. Strike 2. 96 miles per hour from Rivera. Double play ball, maybe. 6-4. Didn't get them both. The force out 6-4. Now Joe Torre will put up a mild argument at first base. But I think it's the same as we talked about a couple of innings ago. Soho just had too far to go because he was playing so far in the hole on the right side that he couldn't turn 2.
Well, he knew he didn't have much time, so he tried to throw on the move. As his foot hits the bag, he tries to jump and throw all in one motion. Makes a nice play to get rid of the ball. Tino Martinez with a good dig. Looked like he beat it.
As we showed you with Lemke in the 5th inning, covering a lot of ground, Soho had to do it, and they couldn't get Grissom with his speed. Now Lemke comes up empty, strike 1.
You notice since those 4 straight balls to open the inning to Terry Pendleton, he has not thrown one in the last 2+ hitters. His idea of a waist pitch is one waist high.
One and one on Lemke, 95 miles per hour from Rivera. into center field. Bernie Williams is there. Top of the 7th inning, over. Time is running out on the Braves, and right now, Rivera holds the clock.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Nashville isn't that far, you guys.
But you lived 1 mile away from me for my whole life.
You guys can come visit whenever you want. Seriously.
So, like, next weekend?
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Football town. It's the place where stars are born and the place where memories are made. It's your home away from home. Come visit Knoxville.
Half of my high school got too drunk. Half of my high school fell in love with the girl next door in their daddy's Ford. Half of my main street's mini skirts. Half of my main street's dressed for church. It could use some rain and a fresh coat of paint. Half of my hometown still hanging around, still talking about that one touchdown. They're still wearing red and black, go Bobcats, while the other half of my hometown, they all got out. Some went north, some went south, still looking for a feeling half of us ain't found. So stay or leave, part of me will always be half of my hometown. Half of our prom queens cut their hair. Half of them think that it ain't fair. The quarterback moved away and never came back. Half of my family is happy I left. The other half worries I'll just forget where I came from. Same place where they came from. Half of my hometown still hanging around, still talking about that one touchdown. They're still wearing red and black, go Bobcats, while the other half of my hometown, they all got out. Some went north, some went south, still looking for a feeling half of us ain't found. So stay or leave, part of me will always be half of my hometown. Half of my Backroads raise us, highways they take us, memories make us wanna go back to our hometown, settle down, talk about that one touchdown, raise some kids in red and black, go Bobcats, while the other half of my hometown was in the crowd. They knew the words, they sang them loud, and all I wanna do was make them cry. 'Cause half of me will always be Knoxville, Tennessee, my hometown.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, at over 130 feet long and filled with 70,000 cubic feet of helium, the Alta Vista on-site computing airship, providing all these great shots from high above Yankee Stadium. We get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Maddox back to the mound. Strawberry leads it off. Strike one. It will be Strawberry, O'Neill, and Soho for the Yankees here in the 7th. Mariano Rivera issued the leadoff walk and then blew right through the Braves. Blauser, Grissom, and Lemke. Now 2-1 from Maddox on Strawberry.
You can see Maddox snatching that ball back from Javier Lopez, very upset with himself. He doesn't find himself in the hole 3-1 very often.
And a walk to Strawberry to start the 7th. News, we are there. Wayne and Janet Gretzky. Wayne, of course, now a member of the New York Rangers, and don't forget the NHL All-Star Game coming up here on Fox, January 18th. 1 on, nobody out for Paul O'Neill.
The great one. And as far as every baseball fan knows, Greg Maddux is the great one as far as pitching is concerned. Give you an idea, he walked Strawberry to lead off the inning. That's only the second batter to lead off the inning in his last 261 innings, including postseason.
O'Neill shoots one foul. Up to 82 pitches, which is his total from Game 2 when he won 8 shutout innings.
Usually you would think about starting Darryl Strawberry to stay out of the double play. Paul O'Neill grounded into 21 double plays during the season, but Strawberry with the bad toe, O'Neill with the bad hamstring. Not really much Joe Torre can do.
The Braves with an active bullpen. 1-1 on O'Neill. Nagel and Bilecki getting ready for Atlanta as Maddox issues his first walk of this year's World Series. Broken bat, ground ball to McGriff. 3-6-3 for the double play here in the 7th.
Bob, it looked to me like Darryl Strawberry took off and then stopped. He did right there. O'Neill breaks his bat. An easy double play by Fred McGriff, a 3-6-3. And as you mentioned, Bob, that neither runs well, but there's that fake break by Strawberry. I wonder if he missed the sign.
See Strawberry going out of his way to try to break up that double play.
O'Neill now 1 out of 3. Soho shoots it foul. Luis has a hit and an RBI in this series, 2 overall in the World Series, but his RBI hit came in that 5-2 win for the Yankees in Game 3 in Atlanta. He's 0 for 1 since entering back in the 4th. Two out, nobody on. Soho down the left field line. Extra bases for Soho. It's a double with 2 out. That's his 3rd hit in the World Series.
Soho in the game as a defensive replacement, although tonight, because Mariano Duncan was injured, one thing they have in common is they like to go up there and swing that bat. Neither guy's going to get cheated.
And the inning continues for Girardi. He's tripled, he's singled, he's driven in a run, he's scored a run. Right-hand Blauser, good play, took a funny hop, and the inning comes to a close. We have played 7. Braves bat, 8th inning, time running out. Rivera back to work.
We'll be right back after this short break.
2-time Grammy winner Kelly Clarkson talks about breaking out.
There's off days where I'm like grocery shopping and someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, and I'm like, oh God, I have a planet on the side of my face. It's embarrassing, obviously.
Kelly struggled with breakouts as a teen. Then the celebrity spotlight brought them back.
I think it was like right after we started doing Idol, there was so much stress, and I started breaking out all along my chin. My skin, it's my job, so obviously you don't want to look like a pizza.
Then Kelly found a beauty secret that worked. Proactive Solution.
When I found Proactive, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I just remember seeing results right away. Before I started using Proactive, it was just an uphill battle. After Proactive, it's great. It's just blemish-free, and that's what I like.
Order now and get a 30-day kit of Proactive for just $19.95.
The cool thing about Proactive is that you see results right away. And that's what people like.
Proactive is the #1 best-selling acne system in America. Named Best Acne Treatment by Allure magazine.
Even the first night I used Proactive, you know, it just felt so good and it felt so clean and fresh.
With Proactive, I can walk down the streets and know that people are not staring at bump after bump after bump. They're staring at me.
With Proactive's proven 3-step system, you can heal acne today and prevent future breakouts tomorrow.
You know, it doesn't dry out the areas that aren't having problems, and it does fix the areas that do. I don't know how they do it, but it works.
With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you can try Proactive risk-free. As a special free bonus, you'll get the amazing refining mask, designed to zap your problem zits overnight.
When you wake up with clear skin, it just makes your whole day better. I think it's cool. I think it's a great skincare line, and I think that it's done nothing but help me.
Order now and get priority mail shipping at no extra charge. Call 1-800-230-9090.
Things are going well after Proactive, so use it.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, along with our producer, John Filippelli, director Bill Webb, Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Bob Brenly back at you. We are ready for the 8th inning. Girardi has had a big night, as has Derek Jeter. Bernie Williams drove in the 3rd run in that 3-run 3rd inning. Jermaine Dye, a bases-loaded walk for the only Atlanta RBI. And Bobby Cox was ejected from the game back in the 5th inning after arguing a call at second base when Grissom was called out. Replay showed he was safe. Chipper Jones leads it off against Rivera, and he hits the first pitch into center. 8th inning, 1 pitch, 1 out. If there is a Game 7, it's David Cohn and Tom Glavine, and it's tomorrow night, and it will be right here on Fox at 7 Eastern. The Braves hope to put on those sanitary socks one more time in 1996. The Yankees trying to wrap up their first World Championship since 1978. One and one to McGriff. Broken bat, back up the middle, Jeter. 2 out.
There is a huge difference in the late innings being in front by 2 runs as opposed to 1 run. The third baseman and the first baseman are off the line. The outfield doesn't have to play extra deep to guard against an extra base hit. You're looking at a conventional defense now with the Yankees up by 2.
2 out, nobody on. Yankees happy Rivera didn't offer it that ball back up the middle with his bare hand. Lopez, strike 1. A walk, a single, a strikeout for Hobby. NLCS MVP. Only 4 hits in the World Series. 1-1. What a run it's been for the Atlanta Braves through the 90s. They're in the World Series for the 4th time in the last 5 World Series. Strike 2 on Lopez. We're in the 8th inning. Rivera trying to get it to the 9th inning, and John Wetland.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Are we on yet?
Are we on yet?
We on yet?
Oh, hi, folks. Hello, everybody. Do we have a big one for you today? Jordan gets the ball. He drives down the left side of the fairway.
Bo Jackson catches it at the wall and fires a bullet to McEnroe.
Gretzky, Jackson.
Ooh, wow.
Electric. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Over to you, Dick.
Over to you, Kurt.
Over to you, Tommy.
Over to you, Dick. No, the other Dick.
Over to you, Harry.
Take me out to the...
Lovely. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Gretzky takes the puck up the ice and fires the backhand out of the bunker for a home run. Game, set, and touchdown.
Nice shoes.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
In all my days, years, decades, this is Sportscaster.
I've never, ever seen anything like it.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Holy cow!
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Well, this place is shaking literally as we get into the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees batting, Yankees leading in the game and in the series. George Steinbrenner and all the Yankee fans hoping tonight is the night they bring the World Championship back to New York for the first time since 1978. Ted Turner, different sort of rally cap. Right now, he and the Braves hope Maddox can keep it a 2-run game. Jeter leads it off and takes a strike. Good pitch in on the hands, 0-2. Maddox still trying to hit those corners, 1 and 2. Two and 2.
Well, and Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, has been very consistent tonight. He didn't give it to Jimmy Key. He's not giving it to Greg Maddox.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Charlie Hayes on deck. One away here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Maddox strikes out his 3rd. Well, if the Yankees hang on and win, coming up after the game, the NASDAQ postgame show, followed in New York by bonus coverage during the Channel 5 News, and we'll be here with additional interviews and analysis on the Fox News channel. That is if the Yankees hang on. 3 more big outs coming for Atlanta. Charlie Hayes digs in for the first time tonight. Boggs was 0 for 3 while he was in there. Mariano Duncan had to leave with a strained throwing shoulder back in the 4th. He's back out and watching. What would this series have been if David Justice were healthy? 2-0 on Hayes. Andy Pettitte, the game of his life in Game 5 on Thursday night in Atlanta. 2-1 on Hayes. Larich, the swing of his life in Game 4 on Wednesday night in Atlanta. The game-tying 3-run home run in the 8th inning. Up the middle, knocked down by Maddox. Another fine play, 2 out.
That's why he wins 7 Gold Gloves. Just a great awareness on the mound. A lot of pitchers would be fooled by balls hit back through the box, either thinking they're hit harder than they are or slower than they really are. Maddox always seems to have that glove in a good position to make the play.
What a postseason and series it's been for Graham Lloyd. What a weapon against this Atlanta lineup. 2 out, nobody on. Bernie Williams, strike 1.
The entire Yankee bullpen had a great World Series. Graham Lloyd, first and foremost, neutralizing those lefties in the Braves lineup.
Since Game 1, that Yankee bullpen has allowed only 2 earned runs. And they've had plenty of work. 1-1 on Williams. Bob Watson put all of this together. His first year as Yankee general manager. Bernie hit a homer. They're thinking. 1-1 to Williams. That's out of play. Not only did Bob Watson help put all this together, on the recommendation from Arthur Richmond, senior advisor to George Steinbrenner, he brought in Joe Torre. Doc Gooden back in New York. 2 out, nobody on, and Williams steps out.
Matter of fact, Joe Torre was interviewed for the general manager's job, turned it down, and a week later accepted the manager's job of the Yankees.
2-2. Wade Boggs, his first trip back to the World Series since 1986. We had fun showing him throughout this World Series. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bernie Williams. 2 out, nobody on. To the right of Lemke, a base hit. You know, while we set this up, with the Yankees out in front 3-1. Here comes Jim Beecham, the acting manager for the Braves. He's going to pull Greg Maddux here in the 8th inning. Just going to say the Braves have 3 more outs, and they will have Andrew Jones, Ryan Klesko, and Terry Pendleton to the plate in the 9th. Greg Maddux cannot be a winner in Game 6. Great work. He leaves with the Braves down by 2. Win, lose, or draw, what more do you want from Greg Maddux? Every time he takes a baseball in his hand, he gives your team a chance to win. Only 1 bad inning tonight, and he gives way to Mark Wohlers.
Yeah, Wohlers followed Greg Maddux in game 2 of this series. Much better results that night for the Braves as they combined to shut out the Yankees 4-0. Wohlers struck out the side. Also gave up 1 base hit in that 1 inning of work.
Maddux working 15 2/3 innings and giving up 3 runs.
Cannot be a winner tonight. Now it's Wohlers facing Cecil Fielder. 1 on, 2 out, trying to shut down the 8th. That's too much to handle upstairs. Strike 1.
Well, a power pitcher like Wohlers does not have a good move to first base. Bernie Williams with 17 stolen bases on the year. This is a good time to run, even though you do have the power hitter at the plate.
There he goes. Strike 2, no throw, stolen base, Bernie Williams. That is his first of the World Series.
Big lead, big jump. After that, just tremendous speed. Great athlete, Bernie Williams.
And that high leg kick of Mark Wohlers. All power pitchers have that big leg kick.
Runner at second, 2 out, and the 0-2 to Fielder. Just fighting it off to stay alive. Still 0-2. Runner at second, Williams, 2 out. And an 0-2 count on Cecil Fielder. Plenty of time for Blauser. Inning over. We head to the 9th. Here in the Bronx, they're 3 outs away from a world championship.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, friends. As the world begins to turn its back on Israel, just as the Bible foretold, you need to be prepared. That means turning to physical gold and silver for added financial security. I've discovered that you can place gold and silver in your IRA, 401k, or other qualified retirement account, completely tax and penalty free. Preserve Gold is the company that I trust, and they're giving away a free wealth protection guide to TBN viewers that explains everything. So give them a call right now.
Call now, 866-301-3138 for your free information kit to learn how you can put physical gold and silver into your IRA or 401k, and how you can even purchase precious metals for delivery direct to your home. Preserve Gold has hundreds of 5-star reviews and millions of dollars in trusted transactions. And you can get up to $15,000 in free gold and silver with a qualified purchase. Just call 866-301-3138 or text Rosenberg to 50505.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
This World Series got underway last Sunday night after the Saturday night start was rained out. It started Sunday night and it was a 12-1 Atlanta win, followed by a 4-0 Atlanta win in Game 2. Since then, the Yankees have won 3 in a row. They've won all 8 they've played on the road in the postseason. John Wetland will try to save every one of the Yankee victories in the World Series. He has 5 saves in the postseason, 3 in the World Series, and the Yankees are 3 outs away from their first World Championship since 1978.
And if the Yankees do win it, the parade will be down in the Battery on Tuesday morning.
John Wetland takes over. Andrew Jones leads it off and looks at a ball. Andy Pettitte was praying in Game 5. He's back at it in Game 6. 1-1. Cubs very patient as always. 2-1. Klesko will follow, and then Pendleton. 2-2. Two from Wetland. Wetland can hit a wild streak, and he's 3-2 on Andrew Jones, who has swung the bat only once in this at bat. One out, and now Klesko. Up the middle, off the glove of Jeter, and Klesko is on. With 1 out in the 9th inning, that means the tying run will come to the plate.
Ground ball that eludes John Wetland. He can't make the pivot and bring the glove to the right-hand side. As a result, Jeter's forced to field the ball, and Klesko has an infield hit. The Yankees certainly not guilty of counting their money while still at the table.
1 on, 1 out for Terry Pendleton. He's reached on an error, grounded into a double play, and walked.
Joe Torre making sure Bernie Williams is the proper depth. Outfielders are reminded, on any hit to the outfield, throw the ball to second base. No doubles in this situation. You don't want the potential tying run to get to second base.
Gentlemen, look who's on deck. Louis Polonia, waiting for an opportunity to redeem himself.
This a long way from over. Something got loose down the left field line. That was the reason for the delay. 1 on, 1 out. Pendleton. Strike 2. Just missed inside, and Pendleton able to hold up 1 and 2.
It appeared that he held up. This ball just off the plate on the hands. It's close.
And a 1-2 count on Pendleton. Into right field, that's a hit. Klesko will stop. Now he'll head to third. Throw cut off, and it's first and third, 1 out. Pendleton comes through with his second hit of the World Series, and now the tying runs are on.
A breaking ball over the middle of the plate. And Paul O'Neill making sure that he throws the ball to second base to keep Pendleton at first. And as Dave Winfield said, Luis Polonia, the pinch hitter, a little redeeming value here, right, David?
Back-to-back singles after the strikeout. Pettit can't watch again. Now Polonia batting for Blauser. Right down the middle, strike one.
Jose Cardinal in the game the other night, part of the reasons, or one of the reasons, that the Yankees, there's Cardinal right there, moves the outfielders around. Polonia was the batter against Wetland. 8 straight fastballs, and Cardinal moves O'Neill into right center field. That was one of the reasons that O'Neill got to the ball hit by Polonia.
First and third, one out. Tying runs on for the Braves. Strike two. You can see just how far O'Neill is off the line. Cardinal and the Yankees do not believe Polonia can pull Wetland. First and third, one out.
So with that in mind, you don't throw him a breaking ball like you throw Pendleton, because the breaking ball is the pitch that you can get around on. And if Wetland's pitching to the defense now, he'll continue to throw one fastball after another.
Andrew Jones led off. He struck out. Back-to-back singles by Klesko and Pendleton. Now Polonia. 2 out. It took Joe Torre 4,272 games as both player or manager to get to the World Series. Rafael Belliard will come in and pinch run for Pendleton. That's the tying run at first. Joe Torre and the Yankees are now 1 out away from the Yankees' 23rd World Championship. It's Wetland and Grissom. To the right side and through. A base hit. In to score is Klesko. Belliard will stop at second, and now one more hit could pull the Braves back even. 3 singles in the inning, and it's a 1-run game.
First ball hitting, fastball away, poked into right field.
Two more hits tonight for Grissom, 12 in this World Series. Now it's first and second, 2 out for Lemke. Strike one.
There are a lot of guys the Yankees would rather see up there than Mark Lemke.
A career 300 hitter in World Series play. One and one from Wetland. Lemke tonight is grounded out and flied to center 3 times. There's the tying run, Belliard. There's the go-ahead run, Grissom. Very good speed on for the Braves. If Lemke can reach, Chipper Jones waits on deck. Now Girardi wants to talk to Wetland.
The reason for that is you want to be sure in this situation. If a catcher wants to go away and a pitcher wants to go inside, and you end up throwing that pitch, it'll be right down the middle of the plate. So Girardi making sure not only of pitch selection, but pitch location.
The starter and potential winner for tonight's game, Jimmy Key, watching. 1 run home, 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 on Lemke. 2-2, and the Yankees are 1 strike away. Full count, and that's important. Now the runners will go from first and second.
Not only important that the runners will go, but the trail runner is the guy you're concerned about. He is the fastest guy on the Yankees team, and a short double, he can score the go-ahead run.
Runners going, Lemke pops it foul near the dugout. And just out of the reach of Charlie Hayes.
You know, interference could have been called on that play. There was a guy in a road uniform, and I don't know who it was. I think Charlie Hayes actually collided with an Atlanta player in uniform right there. You're supposed to clear the top step. Hayes had a shot at it, and now it is cleared. But something could have been called as Hayes collides with an Atlanta player in uniform.
Inches away, and the count stays 3-2. Another chance to the left side. Hayes waits. The Yankees are champions of baseball. Center of all that is today's Chevrolet Player of the Game, Joe Girardi. Not only the work he did behind the plate, but at the plate with an RBI triple and a run scored and a single, and maybe the biggest swing of the night off the bat of Girardi in that 3-run third inning. The only scoring the Yankees would do tonight against Maddox and the Braves. And it was enough for a 3-2 win in Game 6. A 4-2 win in the 1996 World Series for Joe Torre, his first trip to the World Series, and the Yankees come away with a victory.
Frank Torre is on the second day of his second heart. Joe Torre's on his 56th year of his first one. Both are overflowing.
Congratulations to the Yankees and to the Atlanta Braves. It's the New York Yankees, the 1996 champions of Major League Baseball. Stay tuned. We'll return after these messages with the NASDAQ postgame show, including the presentation of the World Series trophy and the Series MVP award.
right back after this short break.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo knows tennis?
Bo knows running.
No.
Bo knows cycling.
Bo knows weight. Bo, you don't know diddly.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Welcome to our NASDAQ stock market post-game show. And congratulations to the New York Yankees. Yankee Stadium is lined with police on foot, mounted police, and the Yankees are just completing a victory lap. Heck, Wade Boggs still on horseback going around the field here at the stadium.
That's one way to take a victory lap.
The Yankee victory train heads to the Yankee clubhouse. We'll take a break, come back with more of our NASDAQ postgame report from Yankee Stadium, where the Yankees win it 3-2 and the series 4-2 over Atlanta. Welcome back to the NASDAQ postgame show after the Yankee 3-2 win tonight. The series win 4-2. We send it down to Steve Lyons, who's standing by with Joe Girardi.
All right, Joe, it's pretty wild down here. Joe, you got this ball club on the board tonight with the triple. Tell me what pitch you hit in the third inning.
I just hit a high fastball. I was looking to hit something in the air, and, you know, a lot of those situations I've been given the safety squeeze all season, and Joe let me hit.
You sat behind the plate for most of this season watching those relief pitchers, Rivera and Wetland, come in and close the door all year long. Tell me about the job those guys did.
Unbelievable once again. You know, we thought if we could get a lead and get to the seventh, you know, we had a great chance of winning. And it took all the other relievers to help us to get to the seventh. Jimmy Key, everyone was great.
Stanley leaves here as a free agent. You come over here in a trade from Colorado, and now you're a world champion, man. How's that feel?
I just want to thank Jesus and God because they're the ones that made it happen.
All right, man, go celebrate with these guys. All right, we're going to throw it back to Joe Buck right now.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. What a night it is here in New York, and the celebrating just beginning. We have plenty more coming up for you from Yankee Stadium. Wetland closed it out. Jimmy Key got it started. Girardi, a big night at Yankee Stadium. Their prayers came true. They just got finished stealing the bunting here at Yankee Stadium. As we continue on our NASDAQ postgame report, we send it back downstairs to Steve Lyons.
All right, Joe, I'm standing with Darryl Strawberry. Straw, this is a long way from St. Paul in the Northern League, isn't it, man?
Yes, it truly is. But first, I'd just like to give the honors to God for making this opportunity possible for me. And I just want to, thank Mr. Steinbrenner for giving me an opportunity to come back and join this New York Yankee ball club, and we have a chance to win the World Series.
Tell me a little bit about the heart of this ball club. You're playing with a broken toe. O'Neill played hurt all year. Great play you made in Game 5 off Blauser. You guys really played with your hearts on your sleeves this series.
I think we was just very determined. I think everybody realized that we struggled the first 2 games here. And then we went down to Atlanta. We went in there with a lot of confidence and believed in ourselves. And that just goes for our manager. Our manager gives us that kind of credit about ourselves and gives us that kind of belief about ourselves. And we just wanted to go out and play hard and try to win ball games down there, and that's basically what we did.
All right, Darryl, have a good time in here, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Joe, let's throw it back up to you.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Congratulations to Darryl Strawberry. Those guys are about to get drenched.
Yes, they are.
Down in the respective clubhouses. Here is the way it will read tomorrow in the New York Post. Extra, 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 extra. World champs. The Yankees beat the Braves to take the series. No specifics, but they had it ready, and this is what will be on the newsstands tomorrow as the Yankees, Tim McCarver, wrap it up for their first World Championship since 1978.
And what a remarkable story. Joe Torre, fired by the St. Louis Cardinals last year, his first year as a manager in the American League, and he wins the World Championship.
Unbelievable. Chip Carey is coming up. I'm telling you, these guys are about to get wet. Let's send it down to Chip Carey for the presentation of all the awards we'll hand out here tonight at Yankee Stadium.
Okay, Joe Buck, thank you very much. The bubbly has started to fly here at Yankee Stadium. Briefly on the podium, scattering just for a moment, is Acting Commissioner Bud Selig and the President of the American League, Dr. Gene Budig. They are here to present the World Series trophy to Yankee manager Joe Torre and their general manager, Bob Watson. Mr. Acting Commissioner.
On behalf of all of Major League Baseball, sincere congratulations, Joe and Bob, and to George Steinbrenner and everybody involved. It's a great World Series. Joe, you've waited a long time for this. You deserve this, my friend. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bud. Oh, Bobby, is that nice and heavy or what?
Oh, yes. We can share it a little, Joe.
Joe, the World Series is back in New York City. Was it worth the wait?
I tell you, Chip, I think when you get as old as I am, you learn to appreciate it. It may only come down one time, but I'll tell you, this is the best feeling between yesterday and today, the best feelings I've ever had in my life.
36 years.
Woo. Boy, oh,
Your
boy.
first
I remember when you were this big.
Well, let's not bring that up. I've got to ask you the emotions of this year. Your brother Rocco, your brother Frank.
Yeah, it was tough, Chip. I think I was all cried out in the championship series, but my brother Frank with the heart yesterday. My brother Rocco died suddenly. He was with me this whole series. I know that because I just felt him. And my brother Frank, who was helping me manage right up to the last minute before he went under the knife, and I'm glad to report that he's doing well.
I know he spoke to you and said, I've got my ring. You go get yours. How's that thing going to feel when you finally put it on?
Wow, especially when it's the big one. You knew you were going to get a ring when you come to the World Series, but the one for the world champs is really special.
Did you ever have any doubts with this ball club? You had the 12.5 game lead. It shrunk to 2. Everyone said, oh my goodness, the Yankees are in trouble. Now you come back down 2-0 to the Atlanta Braves. You go in and you beat the defending champions 4 consecutive times to win the trophy.
Never had doubts about this club. The only thing is the first 2 games of this series, we didn't play like the Yankees because I think maybe the layoff hurt us. Not that, Smoltzy and Greg weren't wonderful, but we didn't have at-bats. We didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden we got a little animated, we got some little energy, and all of a sudden here we are. That 6-0 game had to be the one that really catapulted us.
Did you know you're the first native New Yorker to lead the Yankees to the World Championship?
Well, I can tell you by the pass list that I'm a native New Yorker. I know that.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the celebration. You're on top of the world tonight.
Thanks, Chip.
We got a little more business to get with you, Joe Torre, in just a minute. Let's bring on the general manager, Bob Watson, to talk about this ball club. Bob, what a year it's been for you and this ball club. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Chip. I just can't say enough for the way this organization has put forth the effort to win. You can say what you want about Mr. Steinbrenner. He wants to win as bad as anybody. We have the highest payroll, and we have the best talent in this clubhouse, and that's a tribute to his desire to win. And I just thank him for the opportunity.
Sweet redemption for you. This victory, your team wins the World Series now as the general manager of this team.
Well, first off, for me as a minority sitting here holding this trophy, some 50 years ago, Jackie Robinson, broke the color line, and today I'm an awful proud guy holding this trophy.
Bob Watson, congratulations. All right, Bob Watson, the general manager of the New York Yankees. Steve Lyons has a guest as well. Steve?
All right, Chip, I'm down here with Wade Boggs and his wife Debbie and his daughter Megan and his father Wade in '86. 10 years ago, it just barely slipped away, not this time.
I tell you, when that pop-up went up and Charlie was under it, I said, please, Lord, just let it fall in his glove. I've seen strange things happen, but nothing expresses the feeling I have right now.
There's a lot of guys, including myself, that gave this team up. No one thought that you guys could do it. You guys were the only ones that believed in yourselves.
We believed in ourselves all year, and we've been up against some hard times, and we could have packed it in when we went to Atlanta, and this team's just never given up, and its heart's as big as the Twin Towers right now.
Now, what about the heart on this ball club? Have you ever played on a team that plays with more guts than these guys?
I'm telling you, just no matter what you do, somebody gets hurt, you stay in the lineup, guys give themselves up. It's just the feeling, you can't describe it. This team's never given up, and we had to play one more game, and it was like, come on, guys, we got to have this.
Last year, me and you watched Mo Vaughn run around on a horseback in Boston when they won the divisional championship. You just ran around the field on horseback as a world champion. How'd that feel?
I just wanted to thank the fans. The fans have been behind us 100% all year, and when we came back to New York, this is the greatest feeling in the world. Unbelievable.
All right, enjoy this with your family. Let's go back to Chip. He's got the MVP of the World Series in 1996.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. The boss, George Steinbrenner, on the podium as well with Yankee manager Joe Torre. We're going to talk to the boss, George Steinbrenner. Mr. Steinbrenner, congratulations. It's been a long time.
Been a long time, but it's great for New York, and Joe Torre and the players did it all.
Third championship under your helm here, under your leadership here with this ball club.
We've been in there quite a bit in the last few years. I'm just happy for New York.
Tell you what, you've made quite a general manager yourself this year. The signings of Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, those two players during the regular season, and especially Strawberry during the postseason, were tremendous.
Well, they have really contributed a lot to the ball club, but there's so many human stories in this Yankee club that you could truly say it's New York. There's the mayor. Has he been up here? Get up here, Rudy.
Is this Yankee team?
Hey, you're my #1 advisor.
Mayor Rudolph Giuliani here, longtime Yankee fan.
Well deserved.
How about this ball game?
Congratulations. Unbelievable. You stuck with this team. You did a great job, and we'll have the biggest. We'll have the biggest and greatest parade ever on Tuesday.
Great.
11 o'clock. Right up Broadway.
I'll be there.
3 million, 4 million.
So the parade is on Tuesday. Let's hand out some more hardware. Time to introduce you to the World Series most valuable player. He's off to my right. He's Yankee closer John Wetland. He is the most valuable player of the 1996 World Series. Where's Joe Torre?
Oh my goodness, John! This is
Are you kidding me?
John, what a performance!
John, every night John asks me before he leaves the dugout for the bullpen, he says, "I'll see you later." I said, I always enjoy that. I said to him, and tonight was probably the most enjoyable night of my life, John. And you well deserved, and I can't tell you what you've meant to this ball club. Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe. I'll tell you, I can't think of a better guy to win it for than Joe Torre and the Yankee organization. I'd like to thank my point man, Jesus Christ. I'd like to thank my wife for being a rock for me. And if it weren't for my teammates, I wouldn't even be seeing the field. So this trophy is dedicated to all my teammates. I appreciate their effort all year. Thank you very much.
I got to ask you about the ninth inning tonight with all the marbles on the line for your ball club. The Braves sure made it interesting on you and the rest of these fans here in New York.
Yes, I guess I have kind of a reputation for making some things interesting, but it's just, I don't know, I just reached back. Sometimes I didn't even know where the ball was going. I was so amped up tonight, and it worked out fine.
You're known as a guy who's cool as a cucumber on the mound. You're standing right here shaking like there's an earthquake in this place.
I feel like there's more to go or something. I can't believe this is it. But boy, what an effort the entire club put forth this year, and I just appreciate all the fellas.
John, quickly, it's hard to say that your bullpen was the secret weapon of this World Series, but you guys dominated. The Braves only scored 2 runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings of the entire World Series. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, how can anyone not be proud of them and the job that they did? And that's pretty much what I was getting at in terms of, sharing the glory with my teammates. Those guys got me in a position where I could get the ball in the 9th inning, and oh man, this is absolute elation. I can't stop shaking.
Well, you're the world champion, John Wetland, the MVP of the World Series. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, upstairs, the scene here in this Yankee locker room. Well, in a word, it's kind of wet. Let's send it back upstairs to Joe Buck and Tim McCarver, guys.
All right, you didn't ask him about the hat. He put that old hat in the vault. It's ready for 1997. He had a new cap on. We'll be back here with more of the NASDAQ postgame report and with additional interviews and analysis on the Fox News Channel. Plenty more to come from Yankee Stadium as the Yankees wrap it up with a 3-2 win over Atlanta tonight.
be right back after this short break.
I am here to remind you that you can make a difference in your corner of the world. Even if all you have to offer someone is a smile or a kind word, that is a start. For us, being better together means encouraging one another. And in case no one else reminds you today that God loves you and that He is for you, let me be the one to pick you up. Let me be the one to join my faith with yours. No one has to walk through this life alone. We get to listen and we get to learn from each other. We get to experience the goodness and the faithfulness of God through each other's stories. Better Together has become so much more than a television program. We are actually a community that prays together. We dig deep into God's Word and we carry the love, the hope, and the grace of the gospel everywhere we go. For more than 50 years, the faithful love and support of TBN Partners have made programs like Better Together possible, and now it's our turn to reach more people with more life-giving conversations. Will you partner with us today in growing a community that stretches across the globe from the U.S. to the UK, from South Africa to the Philippines? We really are better together.
And now, a baseball moment from The Simpsons.
Homer, what are you doing?
Oh, just rebroadcasting a telecast without the express written consent of Major League Baseball.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
What are they gonna do? She made me do it!
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
I'm with Bobby Cox outside the Atlanta Braves clubhouse. And Bobby, after winning the first two games of this series here in New York, with your pitching staff, did you think there was any way this could happen?
Well, after going 2 up, you figure you're going to win 1 or 2 at home and maybe have to come back to New York. But our pitchers threw awfully well. We just we went up against some real good pitching ourselves, and Annie Pettit, I think, sort of set the stage for their staff after getting ripped here in New York, and they came right back and showed us what they were made out of. And actually, they contained us very well, but we contained them, but they got 1 more run than we did, Bob. And, you know, they're a fine ball club, and I'm very proud of the way Joe Torre has handled the ball club. If we had to lose, I don't mind losing to Joe Torre. He's a class act. His ball players act very much like professional players, and that's a reflection on him. And they've got all our respect. And, you know, there's no excuses. We don't blame the umpires. We don't blame bad hops. We don't blame anything. We simply got beat. And on the other hand, I'm very proud of our club. This is the 4th time in a possible 5 years we've been here, and I defy anybody else to say that they've done that. So it's a great club we've got. I'm proud of them. They're great competitors. You know, we never gave in. We thought we were going to win tonight and win tomorrow night if there was a game. So I can't say enough about our ball club. I thought they had a lot of courage, and they gave it everything we had, and they had, and so did we. So, you know, we'll salute the Yankees, and we'll hop on a little airplane tomorrow and go home, and we'll finally say have a nice winter.
You know, Greg Maddux was typical Greg Maddux for the whole ball game except for 1 inning. Could you see anything that happened in that 3rd inning?
From the bench, it's hard to tell, Bob. I think probably got some pitches down the middle, and, you know, they jumped on him. And he hadn't been hit hard at all any of the games in postseason. And he only gave up 6 hits tonight. I thought he pitched a masterful ball game. And, you know, a lot of our guys were on fumes, and so was theirs probably. But those are the competitors that always rise to the occasion. And Smoltzy finishes with a 0 ERA, and he's 1-1 in this thing. And Greg's not going to pitch any better than he did tonight. He had the one little bit of a rough inning, and Tommy Glavine's 3-hitter goes unnoticed also. So, you know, we're proud of the organization and the ball club, and we have nothing to be ashamed about. We're a winning organization, a winning team, and we've been here an awful lot. We'd like to have more world championships, but we'll settle for the National League Championship this year.
Well, Bobby, congratulations on your reign as National League champions for a year. Let's throw it back up to Joe in the booth.
All right, Bob Brenly, thank you very much. Hey, some of you will be returning to local programming, while most of you will be staying with us for continuing post-game coverage. You just saw the reason why the Atlanta Braves are in such good hands. Bobby Cox, John Schuerholz, Ted Turner, they've got it figured out in Atlanta. They've been here 4 of the last 5 times in the World Series. They're doing just fine. But tonight, in the 1996 season, belongs to the New York Yankees. You know, we've had a lot of fun in our first year here on Fox covering baseball, bringing back the Saturday game of the week. Our kids show, Fox in the Zone. That'll be back next year. Little innovations, mics in the bases, the Fox box, what have you. It's been a lot of fun, and we hope we've made our little dent on baseball here in 1996, our first year. We also talked about the labor agreement this year. It seemed at one point it was just around the corner. Now again it seems it's just around the corner. We'll all have to cross our fingers and hope that it is just around the corner. I think we all jumped the gun a little bit too early the last time around. We also learned in 1996 that the word dynasty is a fragile word, and maybe we throw it around too easily. But the Atlanta Braves, back in the World Series here in 1996, after winning it in 1995, proving to all of us just how tough it is to become a dynasty. The Atlanta Braves are the closest thing we have to it in baseball. A year that belonged to the New York Yankees, back in the World Series for the first time since 1981, and a World Championship here in New York to celebrate for the first time since 1978. And I think maybe the biggest thing I know I'll take away from it is while we all look at the game of baseball at times like a life or death situation, you have to remember it's just a game. What Joe Torre went through in 1996 with his brother Rocco, with his brother Frank, proves that is life and death. This is just a game, and for that, we should be very happy. It's been a fun year on Fox. Our coverage continues, and our very best congratulations to one of the best men in all of baseball, Joe Torre, and to the New York Yankees. They are the 1996 World Champions. We say so long for now from Yankee Stadium.
Dollars on the high spot, she's shining gold in the sun. I'm looking in the mirror, it feels like staring down the barrel of a gun. Don't wanna confuse you, and I don't wanna let you down. I'm a little confused myself, 'cause we're both strangers now. Can't we start all over? gonna do with it?
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, and NASCAR.
3, 2, 1. See ya.
We are